Grace and peace, everybody. Grace and peace unto you. Happy Father's Day Eve to each and every one of you. Hopefully you all have done something to bless your father. If you have a father living, if not, I pray that you all have fond memories of your father. So grace and peace, everyone. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. So let's get at it and let's talk about it. Now, we've been talking for quite some time about the whole disqualification trial. Okay, we've been talking about that. It's been a lot of fun, all the kind of good jazz like that. But because the disqualification hearing has been put on indefinite hold, it's basically, they basically quashed it. Okay. We've all needed something else to check out. We all have needed something else to scratch our law and justice, our crime drama, our courtroom drama itch. And what has it been? It has been the YSL case here in Fulton County, Georgia, has clawed its way into the #1 position. This case has been amazing. Now, maybe you haven't been keeping up with it. Maybe you didn't know anything about it. Maybe it's your first time hearing about it. But let me tell you right now, it has become, dare I say, must-see TV, okay? It has been the O.J. Simpson trial of this generation, hands down. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. It has just been so interesting. It's been so interesting. Hold on, y'all. My garage door just opened and my car just pulled in. I cannot wait to hear this. So President Firstborn took my car and her sister, and they went to get something to eat. And I've been tracking them on my phone, but they're in the house. I hear the garage. I hear them slamming my doors like they angry or something. I cannot wait. So we might take a little quick station identification break. Let me go and turn on the little camera and get her. Here it come. Come on in here, homie. Come on home, dog. Just come on, bring it on in here, homie. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Come on in here, homie. All right, come on. How did it go? Come on. No, right here.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got squat? Okay, do some squats. Okay, how'd it go?
100% goated. I'm awesome. I'm a good driver. Okay, am I
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. Let me ask Taylor. Taylor, come here real quick.
I made Taylor rate.
Taylor, give some commentary quick. How did she do?
She did good.
Tell the people, tell the listening audience.
She did good. Also, if it's a listening audience, then why do I need to tell it to a camera?
Because they're hearing you. Why are you being cantankerous? Go eat your food. Go enjoy your food. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your food.
I made the executive decision.
I see.
Turn left on Sandy Plains.
So you did the U-turn?
I didn't do the U-turn. I went down through the parking lot and came up by the BAPA and the Primrose School.
Oh, that's where you went. Okay, I was wondering. Okay.
I didn't make the U-turn.
Okay, cool. All right. So you did good.
And then I also made the executive decision because I'm like, you know what? I'm driving. Taylor's not even paying attention. And I drove through Bella's neighborhood.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
The early entrance.
So why didn't you go down and down the little twist? It is longer. Okay.
Yeah, because remember that time we biked there?
Yeah, it was longer. That's right.
Objectively longer.
Okay. Well, congratulations, big girl.
Thanks.
You did good. Proud of you, baby.
Thanks. I didn't kill Taylor. She's safe.
I'm glad you didn't kill anybody. Killing people is bad. All right. So if anybody get your Atlanta Must Be Stopped shirt. I'm rocking Atlanta Must Be Stopped tonight. My wife was like, what does that mean, Jason? So anybody that has a new driver in the house, that was they had your boy's hands sweating. I said, boy, your dad gonna get a heart attack for Father's Day. But she did it. Good job, man. Good job. Sorry, it's nothing real exciting. Terry, she went to Chick-fil-A because she's going away for a month-long summer camp, enrichment camp, whatever. And they got to be packing. So, and then next weekend, Taylor goes. So nothing exciting. They're literally packing, washing clothes, packing, all that kind of jazz like that. So anyway, back to my opening monologue. So if you've not been keeping up with the case for long, don't worry, because it's been going on. Please understand, Friday was the 91st day of the case. And since arrests and indictments, and I want to start with like when the motions started. When motions started, if somebody had a baby on that exact day, up to today, they would have a 1.5-year-old. That's how long this has been going. There are going to be 300 witnesses called. 300. Now, I don't know what number they're on, and praise God that I don't know. I don't know if they're on number 80 or number 50. I don't know, or 150. I know they're not at 300. That I do know. So we're going to talk about Woody, and we're going to kind of like maybe get like a high level view of this case up to this point, because let me tell you, it has just been cuckoo's bananas. So if somebody again had a baby the day that the Young Thug trial started, and the motion started, they'd have a 1.5-year-old. There's absolutely no reason not to believe that your little baby thug, little thug baby, or whatever you want to call it, is not going to be like entering kindergarten, or maybe even exiting kindergarten by the time this case is over with. It is amazing. I'm still like amazed at how crazy this case is, how massive this case is. At one point, there was 28 defendants. 28. So if you just play around, just from fun and games, 28 defendants. Let's round it up to 30 for easy math. 30 defendants. Each one of them has one attorney. That would be 60 people in the gallery just on the defense side alone. Now, that's not saying that the DA's office is not going to, because the DA's office looks like they got about 5, maybe 6 attorneys on their side. So can you imagine what that would look like if they had if they had in fact brought this case against all 28 of them? This would be crazy. And some are going to have more than one attorney. And it's going to be clerks and other little people, ancillary people. That's the craziest thing. I'm sorry. I don't know if they need like RICO reform, but it doesn't seem like RICO to me. That just seems like the worst thing to do. Somebody mentioned while we were talking about this on Friday that only the Fed should be able to bring RICO charges. And you know what? I might start to believe that. Like, I don't know what that would look like. Like, where would they try the cases? Because they still have to deal with like size limitations and such like that. You can't ship everybody to DC or ship everybody to a federal place to do this. But it just seemed like states issuing RICO is a bad deal. I have no idea, but my goodness, in the morning. So what we're going to do, as I make sure my garage is closed. It is closed. Good. What we're going to do, appreciate you, Vic. Oh, by the way, this is my last night. Lady Dear Woke Christian took me and the girls to the Atlanta Braves game last night. Go Braves. So even though I got my Atlanta Must Be Stopped shirt on, I don't want the Braves to stop. They can go ahead and keep winning because they're driving up my property value. They're increasing my property value. So y'all going to keep on swinging them bats and hitting that. And I'm sorry, Braves games are fun. I don't know if this is how other baseball stadiums are, but the Atlanta Braves Stadium has got to, and again, I have nothing to work from. I've probably only gone to, I don't think I've ever gone to a baseball game till I came here to Atlanta. So my knowledge level is extremely low. So if you're a baseball field aficionado, and you've been to Atlanta and you've been to the Battery and you can compare it to some other stadiums, let me know, because I would love to know, are other baseball stadiums this fun? Because I'm telling you, man, they almost got your boy interested in like going more often, because it's just, it is a gigantic party. Now, I'm sorry, we had a great time. I had a great time. And even though we left at the 7th inning, we could have easily stayed the rest of the night. We could have stayed to the end because we were having a good time. We're talking with a lot of folk. We were in a suite, but we were talking to a lot of people, yucking it up, taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And They did. It was great. So if you're a baseball aficionado, I know nothing about it, but I do want to say that I had a great time. And where I was going with that is this is their Father's Day hat. So they had a Father's Day hat that they were selling yesterday, and I was like, you know what? It's Father's Day. Why not? And I like it. And it's also the same color as my shirt. So there we go. So I said, we got it. We're here. Make it a thing. All right. So I want to talk about this. We are going to dump in. I promise you, we will jump into this YSL case. So let me just real quick give a shout out to some of my good people and get you all, make sure we lay out the land, give you a lay of the land. We got Terry in the building. Always good to see you. Thank you so much. Listening to the YSL foolishness and nonsense. We got Transplanted Texan in the house. Hello to the best live chat on the planet. Now, I've heard a lot of people. I've seen a lot of YouTubers, and I'm calling no shade on them. None whatsoever. But I've seen a lot of YouTubers start calling their live chats the best live chats on the planet. Now, I know emphatically where they got that from. So now I am going to make it my aim and my mission to call this the best live chat in a whole lot of other places. So don't be surprised if we're the best live chat on Pluto. Okay. Don't be surprised if we're the best live chat on the east side of the Milky Way, because I just want y'all to know y'all are the best live chat, bar none. Absolutely none. Yeah, if you want to pick up your Atlanta Must Be Stopped shirt, pick up one. We also got the Dalton Must Be Stopped shirt as well as Chicago. I'm going to be putting up a poll this week for the next Must Be Stopped shirt. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere in Texas, but I'm going to give y'all a couple of options and you tell me where you want them to be and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, man. Please like the video. If you do like this kind of content, my name is Jason. I do social and political commentary from a Christian perspective. And as you just saw, I'm the dad of a driver. Help your boy out. Please, likes cost nothing. Just hit that little like button. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. We got 50 people watching the video, and I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, man, it was, hey, they made it. They made it. And let me tell you one more fun thing. So Trina thinks that because she has her license, she can now pick up car keys and just keep them in her purse. She just has car keys in her purse. So she has been grabbing the spare keys. We have a key ring with both my wife and my keys on them. And she's just been keeping that in her purse. Well, we were at the Braves game last night and we put, he put stuff in the trunk and all this stuff out of sight, and the car would not lock. And we could not figure out, why would the car not lock? Because every time we try to lock it, it would just it would set off an alarm and then unlock itself. Like, what is the problem? And someone said, Trina, do you have a set of keys? Yeah, they're in her purse. Why do you have a set of keys? Because she thinks because she has a license, she can just go around and pick up keys and just has them. I got to make sure she don't take them to her month-long camp with her. That's my girl, though. I love her, though. Good to see you, Tim Moore. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you for stopping by today. We have Michelle in the building. Well, look, we're having a great time with her, man. I was telling my wife, I said, man, I'm so proud of her and how she's matured and grown. And I mean, again, I remember when you were just a little person. I mean, just a little tiny little person. And now you're literally driving my car down the street and I'm not in it. Like, oh, wow. You don't like little thug baby person? Well, okay, whatever. Little. Okay, I don't know. There is somebody called Little Babies. We can't call them Little Baby. I don't think it's Thug Baby. I don't think so. Maybe there is. I don't know. Good to see you, Susie Q. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Yeah, hit that like button. It don't cost you a thing. That like button is free. It's absolutely free up in here. Now, Vic, I haven't seen Vic in a while. I'm glad to see him stop by tonight. Thank you, Vic. Good to see. What does Gene Lee say? This case is sad and disgusting. These guys are not getting a fair trial. I don't know if they're guilty, but they deserve a fair trial. And, we didn't even think about that. There's going to be appeals. So by the time this case is closed and whoever is set free or whoever is put in jail, a baby born the day that this trial started could easily be in second grade. Easily. By the time all the smoke clears. I mean, they're already talking about it's going to go to 2027 already. And that's just the trial. That's not appeals. That's not with any other foolishness, shenanigans, or hijinks happening. That's just that right there. So they're already looking at 3 more years already. And sometime I'm going to have to find the witness list so we can see like what witness number are they on? Because Woody has been, Woody has single-handedly revitalized LawTube. Because once Fonnie went off once the appellate court put a stay on Fonnie, they kind of died. They kind of died down in a way. But man, Woody came in there with napalm. He woke the whole thing back up, and we're gonna look at him today for real. Free the jury. I agree, Q. I absolutely agree. We do not want those jurors held hostage any longer. Hey, good to see you. Midlife Bro Logic is a new YouTuber I ran across. He's actually going to be doing a review later on my Fonnie Willis at Turner Chapel video. So definitely want to check him out. If the moderators can drop a link to Midlife Bro Logic's channel, that would be dope, because we definitely want to come by and check you out, see what you got to say, and make sure that we give you that subscription. All right, thank you so much. I don't want to say it like that, because look, I don't know. No. Hey, I've been to the Braves Stadium. Look, Braves games are fun. I'm gonna say that again, and I'll keep saying it. They're a lot of fun. So hey, it was fun where we were. It was fun in the stands. Look, I've seen them. It's been a great time. And I want to say this one more time, because I've been here in Georgia since they built what used to be called Turner Field, which was the Braves Stadium after the Atlanta Fulton Stadium. After the Olympics, they took the Olympic Stadium and turned it into what's called Turner Field. And one of the things I think they really dropped the ball on, they really just missed their opportunity, is to build up the area around what used to be called Turner Field. There was nothing around it. It's just parking. Just a lot of parking. It was a lot of parking. Okay. No parking decks, no restaurants. No, it was not a destination. So what would happen on Braves nights was that, and it was right there at the intersection of I-20 and I-75 and 85. So it was almost like at that junction. So it was always clogged up. It was always congested. It was a dumpster fire all the time. And it was nothing you could only get like food and beverage was only there. So it wasn't a destination. Well, when they built the Battery here, which is about 10, 15 miles from my house, give or take. And when they built the Battery, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to ruin my house value. I was ready to sell my house and move to an igloo, right? Somehow or another, by God's grace, I didn't sell my house. I didn't move and get into an igloo. But they just crushed it as it relates to traffic management and a destination, because it's still right there on 75, 85 and 285. If you're familiar here in Atlanta, 285 is the belt line, the circle that goes around the city. And it's a hot mess a lot of the time, a lot of the day. And you can drive by the Battery during a Braves game and not experience crazy traffic. I mean, literally, it took us no time to get there yesterday. And we were relatively late because we were supposed to be there at 5:30. We're leaving my house at 5:45. And I think we were walking into the location at like 6:15. So half an hour from my house to the stadium, to park, to walk, ticket, find where we were supposed to go. It only took us half an hour. That's crazy. So I don't know whoever built the Battery, but they did a phenomenal job. So my point in saying that is they've done a good job, because there's tons of people outside the Battery, outside the stadium, enjoying food and restaurants and music. There's a movie theater, there's escape rooms, there's cigar lounges, and did I say restaurants? I did. So there's tons of stuff to do. And then of course you go into the stadium and there's tons of stuff to do in there. They did a great job. I'm very impressed with it. Wow, Gene Lee, thank you so much. Gene Lee just blessed 5 people with memberships to Dear Woke Christian. If you got, okay, y'all know it. If you get a membership from Gene Lee, can you please do me a favor? Spam her name. Say, thank you, Gene. Thank you. Make sure, as Judge Glanville was saying this week, I want a name. Tell me the name. Tell us the name that you're thankful for. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate that. Bless you. Thank you so much for that. There we go. Tim, you make sure you tell Gene thank you. There we go. I love it. There we go. That's so neat. Thank you so much, Gene. That's dope. Thank you. Y'all let Gene know. Y'all know. Look at what's going on over here. What in the world? Y'all call the police. We got inside the law in the building. We got a real teacher in my pre-K law class. There we go. This is Phil Holloway. If you're not familiar with Phil Holloway from Inside the Law, what is wrong with you? What are you talking about? Phil Holloway has been a blessing to this channel. And I want to say thank you so much, Phil, for stopping by. Good to see you. If you, I told you already, Phil, in my email, if you got time, feel free to click that link. We'll be glad to rap with you. But if not, it's perfectly fine. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Phil might be getting a Braves Father's Day hat today, if I'm not mistaken. And bless Phil with a little bit of power in this place. There we go. All right, let's see what we got. Good to see y'all. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate you, Phil. Thank you so much for popping in to say hi. Ladies and gentlemen, if the moderators could just drop Inside the Law's channel. Phil Holloway does an excellent job. He's an attorney here in Atlanta, not too far from Whitaker Park. What do you know about that? But he does a great job of breaking down these cases. He has a fantastic co-host that comes on. He has excellent guests, and he really breaks this down and as I told him before, he puts the cookies on a shelf that everybody can get them. So he takes these high level, deep thoughts that are what we know as law and brings them down in a way that all of us can understand it. Definitely want to check out Phil over at Inside the Law. Thanks so much, Phil, for stopping by tonight. Thank you, brother. Yes, sir. And I agree with him. Happy Father's Day to all dads. All babies are little thugs too. There's actually some truth to that. You are correct. Thank you. Thank you so much, Susie. There we go. There we go. Thank you so much. And now Jean Lee is blessing your boy with a super chat. What does she say? She says, I really enjoy your content, but can't always catch it alive. I'm hooked on the YSL trial. Look, I appreciate you when you come through, Jean Lee. You can watch it on replay, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm right there with you. When this case is over with, there's going to be a whole lot of us going to be going to rehab, okay? We're going to either be watching Woody Woody on syndication. We're going to be listening to Young Thug. We're going to be doing something because we are all going to be in rehab when this thing is over with because I'm hooked on it too. I ain't going to even lie. No, Phil, don't try it. Don't try it, man. We're going to work with you for sure, my friend. We are going to work with you for sure. I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's what I want to talk to Phil about, or another legal eagle that has that understands this completely. Because I want to believe the best for Judge Glanville. I've heard some great things about him as a person, definitely as a veteran, and his service to America. And I don't want to believe, and I tried my best to give people the benefit of the doubt early. But my goodness, in the morning, the way this trial has run, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. It just seems like it just seems out of control. It just seems like, is it out of control because Judge Glanville can't control his courtroom? Is it out of control because it's this gigantic, massive, I think there's 7 people now that are being brought up in this RICO? What is it? Like, what is it? Why is it so wild? It just seems wild to me. And sure, it could be, a little mixture of Atlanta, because Atlanta must be stopped. Atlanta's got some problems for sure. Or is it just the fact that, I don't know. So the odor of mendacity is running free in Judge Glanville's situation for sure. You know what it is? Okay, this is what I think it is. It's taking too long. It's taking entirely too long. Now this is something I feel like Judge Glanville really, and I promise you, we're about to jump into this video summary of the case. I feel Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. There's some scheduled breaks in there, but I think they need to be putting their foot on the gas to get this stuff done. Come in there at 12 o'clock on Friday. Don't start till 1. You're done at 3. What was that? What is that? Now, I understand he has other cases that he's tending to, and I'm not mad at that part. But anytime Judge Glanville says we're going to take a 5-minute comfort break, you already know that's 45 minutes. Sometimes an hour. You already know it. If we just took all of the comfort breaks and put them in a montage, I'm telling you right now, it's a long time. It's a long time. To me, that's one of the things that I'm not saying that would fix Woody. I'm not saying that would fix the issues between ADA Love and Steele. I'm not saying that. But all I'm saying is if the thing was moving in a timely fashion, down the road, I don't feel it. I don't feel like it is. So that's something we're going to talk about in a second, though, for sure. Gene, again, thank you very much. I need to add you to the ticker. I'm going to add a ticker down here while we're watching this video. Get my ticker ready. Let's see. I love it. I love it. Lots of good commentary. Always good family reunion going on. Thank you so much, Transplanted Texan, for shouting out Midlife Bro Logic. Definitely going to swing on by there and check out what they're doing over there and how they're looking at that Fonnie Willis video. Hey, can y'all explore? And we're going to talk about that in a second. I do want to ask, have y'all seen this my Fonnie Willis video anywhere else? And what I mean by mine, I mean just the full version from 11 Alive or Atlanta News First, or there were 8 news outlets there, and I clicked on all of their channels. I have not found one of them that played the entire video of Fonnie Willis. They gave the little snippet of her saying that she didn't like somebody talking about her name or mispronouncing her name, and that black women are tired. I saw that part, but she talked for 40 minutes, and that was like 30 seconds. Like what else did she talk about? So I found that really interesting. We're going to talk about that as well. But y'all, I'm going to stop running my trap. So I'm going to definitely shout out everybody. Thank you so much for everybody who's stopping by. What's going on? The indecisive wig wearer. She says, Lil Woody is testifying without testifying, just to stay out of jail. He should offer classes on how to do this. Look, the bad thing is where he's from in Atlanta, trust me, there's PhD levels down there doing that. Trust me. But let me go ahead and give y'all this. So I found another YouTuber who did a great job. And I know this is going to sound weird, right? Some of the best commentary that I've seen on this topic of the YSL case has not been from lawyers. I know. I just said that Phil is a great one. I always shout out lead attorney. I know. But some of the best commentary I found is from gang members. There's gang members that have YouTube channels. And I found a guy who explained who gave like a really good summary of why all the shenanigans with Woody. It was just fun to hear. I mean, there's no profanity in it. It's not crazy or anything like that, but it was just fun to hear. So I really like my LawTube guys. Shout out to them. Shout out to AV and Viva Fry. But man, every now and then you got to get a thug in here too. So we got this guy. He's going to go over and explain Little Woody, and I want to hear what you all think about it. But before we do that, y'all know what I got to do.
Welcome back to Season 3 of As the Peach Rots. In this engrossing third season, we marinate the fetor of Georgia's political elite in the tangy vinegar of accountability. In a state where the odor of mendacity lingers in the air, our intrepid team of chatroom investigators is on a mission to peel back the layers of deceit and uncover the truth. From backroom deals to embezzlement scandals, no stone is left unturned in our pursuit of justice. But as tensions rise and alliances shift, who can be trusted in the Peach State? Join us for a season ripe with drama, where even the fruit isn't safe from corruption, because sometimes the juiciest scandals are right under your nose.
All right, so y'all know doing that. Shout out again to We Watch YouTube, who did that video for us. And This is and the link for this video that we're about to watch is actually in the description. He does a great job of breaking it down. So I thought, let's listen to it. Let's go.
The Young Thug YSL trial has been absolutely wild so far. We ended last week with day 91 of court. Yeah, 91 days, meaning that they've spent 3 entire months, like in the courtroom Monday through Friday, going over evidence and collecting testimony from witnesses. And last week we got to see what is probably my favorite witness so far, and that was Kenneth Copeland, aka Lil Woody. Now his testimony wasn't great because he offered a bunch of evidence up or gave a bunch of statements that incriminated a bunch of people. Instead, it was entertaining for a completely different reason, and that is how disastrous his testimony has been so far. Woody really got on that stand and got a case of selective amnesia so bad that it prevented him from remembering his own age.
Okay, because this is, of course, the infamous, how old are you? What's your age? I'm grown. I don't think it can be lost. I really don't think you can lose this fact. Woody is the state's witness. They looked across the landscape and said, who's going to give us the best testimony that Young Thug committed this crime so we can throw him in jail? So they looked across the landscape and said, Kenneth Copeland, let's go. This is their witness. And so that's the part I really want y'all to think about. And you're going to even hear the young lady Hyatt is going to actually ask to treat him a little bit hostile. She doesn't say like, I'm going to treat him as a hostile witness, but she does want to treat him a little bit hostile. But let's go ahead and watch this because I know everybody's seen it. So let's go ahead and have a good laugh.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am,
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please?
I knew as soon as it started like this, we was about to get some banging testimony from this guy. Now we all know the Young Thug is on trial because the state of Georgia is accusing him of being the founder and the leader of a criminal street gang known as YSL or Young Slime Life. And they say that, you know, YSL's been terrorizing the city of Atlanta for a couple of years now. And we've seen testimony after testimony from person after person. But one of the people that everybody was looking forward to hearing testimony from was Lil Woody. And that's because a while back, footage leaked online of Lil Woody in the interrogation room with detectives spilling his guts, telling the guys the honest truth to them people. And so everybody expected that when Woody got his chance to get on the stand and give testimony that we were going to hear some groundbreaking stuff, but that ain't what we seen. Instead, the circus continued, and this guy got up there and pretty much gave us some of the best courtroom drama footage that I think I've ever seen. Now, bro was supposed to get up there and be the prosecution's star witness, LeBron on the stand with it. But if that's what they expected to get, and by them I mean the prosecution, they were sadly mistaken. Because out the gate, I mean off the rip, Woody was uncooperative with these people. I mean, the moment that he got on the stand, his attorney stood up and let it be known to the entire court that Woody did not want to be there.
We have decided that whatever Mr. Copeland says, he will have immunity in this trial and in this proceeding. And that has been the state's decision, and the state can make that decision. And we have so done that pursuant to 24-5-507. If Mr. Copeland does not testify, he could be held in contempt. We had that conversation with him. And so the state would ask that the order that the court has signed be honored, and that Mr. Copeland be compelled to testify and not insert his Fifth Amendment privilege and testify as a witness in this proceeding.
May I respond, Judge?
Yes, you can, Mr. Miller.
He is present in the courtroom, Judge.
Okay.
What he has told me is that he repeatedly told the DA's office that he did not wish to cooperate, did not wish to testify, and wished to exercise his Fifth Amendment privilege.
So this whole thing started out a little rocky. You could hear the prosecution say, listen, we've told Woody that he's got to get on that stand. He has to give testimony. He can't assert his Fifth Amendment privilege. If he does, we're going to hold him in contempt of court. And the judge agrees that they would be able to do that. All right. So it started with the prosecution essentially threatening this witness, saying, if you don't do what we said do, you're going to go to jail. And his attorney basically got up and said, hey, look, judge, I don't know what they're talking about, but my client has said repeatedly, time and time again, that when he gets up here, he is going to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege. And they're calling it a privilege, not a right, because he's been given immunity, and they've also taken away his right basically to plead the Fifth by saying, if you do that, we're going to hold you in contempt of court. Ain't it funny how you got all the rights in the world in America until they decide that you don't? Anyways, the type of immunity they gave him is called use immunity. And what that means is anything that he says during this trial can't be used against him to prosecute him later. But that is coming from the state. So there still seems to be like a cloud looming over Woody's head. He's afraid that while the state won't be able to use it against him, the federal government will be able to double back and use whatever he says against him. So he don't want to say nothing.
And to me, that might be why, in my opinion, RICO charges or RICO cases should instantly become federal cases. Because now, then it would be the feds that are making immunity deals, and they're going to be the one that says, hey, if you implicate yourself in this crime, we're not going to hold anything against you. And the state couldn't do it either. But the state can give you immunity. If he said he was drug trafficking, the state can say they're not going to do anything, but the feds could come in, swoop right in, and once this thing is over with, haul you right on over to federal jail because of what you said. So that's another reason why, and I did see another great comment that RICO cases usually take long because there's so many defendants. That, in my opinion, is another good reason why it should probably be on a federal level. Because imagine if this trial goes to mistrial and they've spent countless, I have no idea. If you told me they've already spent $20 million on this case, I'd believe you. There's no reason to believe otherwise. With manpower, just from door to door, $20 million, that's probably worth it, what they've spent. That would bankrupt some places, man, in order to restart this trial. I think that's one of the reasons why they don't want a mistrial, is because they've gone so long. And if Judge Glanville recuses himself, same thing. They got to get a new judge in. So this is wild. Let me get out of your way and let's keep it going. Shout out.
That's how we, as a due process, gets you to come to court. I mean, you were noticed as a witness. They've identified you as a witness. They've determined that your testimony is needed. Because of the fact that you have some concerns about what your testimony may indicate or could indicate in this case, and that's something that you and your counsel have talked about, and I'm not certainly going to inquire about that. But in order to potentially deal with anything that may come out of that, the state is basically, knowing that you have a Fifth Amendment privilege, says, okay, we acknowledge that. We're going to give you immunity. And as a result of that, then you have to testify as a result of that. If you don't testify, then I, as the judge in this case, have several remedies. One of those is that I could hold you in contempt and jail you because the way that you get out of that contempt is to just testify. That's the only thing they wanted in this case for you to testify. So your attorneys told me you're going to invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. Done, said. However, the immunity has been signed. I have a copy of that right now. So you're required to testify. So if you don't testify, the state's probably going to ask me to jail you. And I'm probably going to do that. So I'd like you to go ahead out and talk with your lawyer and tell me what you want to do at that point in time, okay?
Do you need any more time to talk, Mr. Copeland? Okay. What is your desire at this time?
I'm taking the Fifth.
Okay, you've taken the Fifth, but you've got immunity, but you still want to, are you going to testify? That's the thing.
That's the question.
That's the question on the floor. I've acknowledged the fact you have a Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state's given you immunity, so that overrides that Fifth Amendment privilege. They require you to testify.
Yeah, but the state don't know what they're talking about. So they ask me a question that implicate me, then
Okay, they can't prosecute you on that. They can't.
But the feds
The order
see, I think that's the issue. And Woody knows. Woody's been to federal jail, federal prison before, so he understands federal issues. And I might be going too far, and I'd love for somebody who is more legal minded to chime in. But you become very well versed in law, at least what got you thrown in jail when you get your butt thrown in jail. So Woody understands, like, if I say something here, sure, Fulton County, sure, Georgia might not arrest me for it, but the feds can, and therein is the problem. And he knows that. He's aware of that. And I don't know why they selected him. I have no idea. Why do you have this man as your star witness when he truly, truly doesn't want to testify? So you can give him immunity, but force him to testify? That makes no sense at all. I do not understand it. But let us go.
prohibits them from allowing them to use that testimony against you. All right, sir. What's your pleasure?
Say what?
I said, what's your pleasure, sir? Do you wish to give testimony? I know you don't want to give testimony in this case, but you've been given immunity in this particular circumstance, use immunity. So, are you going to testify?
Yeah.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am,
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, are you going to let me?
If you can, I don't know where on the iPhone, if you have the instructions or can tell me where to find. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Cat Williams. Cat Not Williams. It says inside the law, you have to minimize the chat, then you'll see it. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to this game. Let's get back. All right. I have no idea. I have no idea how. Why is this there? And somebody said it like they feel like the state built their entire case around this guy, which seems problematic. It seems problematic. And I think this is a very true statement as well, Michelle. I think all of them are being a bully, truth be told. And I think that's why Woody has been so problematic to them. It's because I think he sees Glanville as a bully. He sees the DA's office as bullies, and it is bullying him around. Now, I wonder what's going to happen because he's supposed to testify till about Tuesday. So maybe on Wednesday, that's when Brian Steele comes and takes a bite at the apple. I just want to, we'll see hopefully how this changes. We will see. But let us get back to this game. Let's go.
Ask you some questions.
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters?
Everybody spam the chat. I need everybody to tell how old they are in the chat as if they were Woody. Go on, type it in there that you grown. You an adult. That thing right there, that meme will never die. That meme will be eternal. If mankind made it another 10,000 years, 10,000 years from now, they will still be saying, they'll still be laughing at this this meme. Okay, you're saying that there is no court on Wednesday. You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. So Thursday. So that means this Thursday's gonna be on and popping. You got to put grown in there, though. Y'all got to be grown. Come on, y'all. Yo, that thing is crazy right there. That thing, I'm sorry. It's so trite. I know. It's so trite. He said, I'm an adult. But, and even the young man that's doing this video, he has the same issue as well. Like, what's the purpose of these questions? Now, again, I remember lead attorney kind of explained that they want to build a case, they want to build a story. So they don't want you just to say, me and so-and-so started fighting. They want to know a lot. So they're going to talk about what did you do when you woke up in the morning and what'd you have for breakfast and so on and so forth. However, this right here, I don't understand why she was asking this question. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. 2 score and 10? I said Woody, not Fred, not Abraham Lincoln. Regina, we can't do it like Abraham Lincoln here. Oh my gosh, old enough, grown adult. Woody is going to become a meme. What do you mean? Huh? You talking to me? Woody is going to become a meme. Little does he know. I mean, if he goes to jail, he better put out an album and put it in a trust in his children's name, because he needs to go ahead and trademark his face. He needs to go ahead and trademark what do you mean? Detective Woody, the whole nine. He needs to go ahead and put all of that under trademark and put it in a trust in his children's name, because they're going to get paid.
Please. From Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
So the judge dropped the gavel on him, told him, all right, bro, since you want to be that way, go ahead, get in them handcuffs. You finna go to your new home, your brand new apartment, a 6x6 cell at the local jail. He gave him that big old vicious contempt of court charge, and away Woody went. And apparently they thought this was gonna open Woody's mind, make him remember things a little bit more clear, but it just didn't work that way for him, because Woody went to jail for 2 days, came back on Monday, hit the stand, and was just as forgetful as ever.
Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I gotta say it back.
You haven't said anything yet. And when is your birthday?
There's another thing also. This case is so long. There's going to be an exchange between, let me just play it right.
Testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
So the judge dropped the gavel on him, told him, all right, bro, since you want to be that way, go ahead, get in them handcuffs. You finna go to your new home, your brand new apartment, a 6x6 cell at the local jail. He gave him that big old vicious contempt of court charge, and away Woody went. And apparently they thought this was gonna open Woody's mind, make him remember things a little bit more clear, but it just didn't work that way for him, because Woody went to jail for 2 days, came back on Monday, hit the stand, and was just as forgetful as ever.
Okay. Everybody in this case is becoming again, they're all becoming memes. So this woman has been sitting in front of Judge Glanville for weeks. I have not paid attention to her. I noticed when she had her hair down and whatever like that, but that's about it. I don't know her name. I really don't know what she does. But there's going to be an exchange in this video where Woody is talking to the woman. I don't know how I missed this thing. And some of y'all have mentioned it before. I didn't know that this was it. But again, everybody's becoming a meme in this thing. Everybody is moving up. This woman, him talking to this woman was so funny to me. And you'll see it in a minute, but let's keep it going.
Mr. Copeland, good afternoon.
Thank you for liking the video.
Good afternoon.
I gotta say it back.
You haven't said anything yet. And when is your birthday?
Say that again.
When is your birthday? I'm sorry. When is your birthday?
Next month.
Is that July?
I think so.
Okay. And were you born on July 25th?
I guess.
Okay. Are you from Atlanta?
I'm from Canterville.
Okay. Is that a section of the city in Atlanta?
I guess.
You guess? All right. When you were younger, did you go to school?
Yes.
Where did you attend school?
I don't know. I went to a lot of different schools.
Okay. What are all the schools you went to?
I don't recall all of them.
Oh, just tell me some of them.
I only know one. Slater.
Slater. Is that elementary school or middle school?
Elementary.
Why you don't remember what middle school you went to? Did you go to middle school?
I think I did.
How long did you go to? Did you finish middle school?
Relevance. Overruled.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Do you remember what year you left high school?
No.
All right. After high school, did you work?
No.
What did you do after high school if you weren't working?
Say that again.
Did you do anything? If you weren't working, what were you doing?
I don't recall.
Okay. Are you married?
Nope.
Are you in a relationship?
Nope.
Right. Do you have children?
You know that.
Okay. I do, but the jury doesn't. Do you have children?
Yep.
All right. How many?
More than one.
All right. Do you have more than 3?
I might. Ain't no telling.
Okay. That's perfect. That's fair. And how old are your 2 children?
The same age.
What's that?
Same age.
I don't know. Y'all been having me in jail so long, I can't recall.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is comedy gold happening right here. Bruh said, I don't even know my kid's age. Y'all been having me in jail so long, dog. You can't make this stuff up, I swear. Anyway, so he's not being very much help while he's sitting on the stand. And the line of questioning that they're starting with is completely irrelevant if you ask me. Like, what does any of this have to do with YSL or Young Thug, right? I mean, I know they got to start the line of questioning somewhere, but this seemed like an odd spot to start it at. Now, they do eventually move on from this irrelevant line of questioning and try to get into something that is more case oriented. So let me add a little context for y'all. Young Thug has been charged in this RICO for allegedly running YSL. And the big part of this case is there are 2 people that are being charged with a very serious crime, and that is the murder of Donovan Thomas, also known as Big Nut. Now, Big Nut was killed back in 2015, and the 2 people that are charged with it are Shannon Stillwell and Diamontre Kendrick. The prosecution alleges that these are the guys that pulled the trigger, and they allege also that Young Thug is the person who rented the vehicle that was used in that crime. Now, in order for Woody's testimony to make any sense, they needed him to confirm that he knew all 3 of these individuals. So they lay some pictures out in front of him and try to get him to identify them. But as I'm sure y'all are aware, Woody wasn't going.
Can you take a moment and look at those pictures? Please look at those pictures.
Do I have to look at them?
Yes.
I kind of feel sorry for the DA.
I'm going to start first with Stacy's Exhibit 350 Yankee. Tell me if you recognize individual in Stacy's Exhibit 350 Yankee.
I recognize myself.
Okay. Do you recognize anybody else in 350 Yankee?
Myself.
Do you recognize anyone else in 350 Yankee?
Their face is covered up.
Okay. Do you see someone's face who's not covered up in 350 Yankee?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recognize who that person is?
I can hardly tell.
Okay. Is that Shannon Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor, me.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I'm turning to impeachment. Do you know someone by the name?
When you turn to impeach, when you're a witness and the attorney turns to impeach, is almost akin to saying that you're a hostile witness. They're saying that basically they're impeaching your testimony, that they want to say that they want to prove that you're lying. So that's what they're doing. So she's almost to the point of saying, I'm going to treat him. I don't know why they don't treat him as a hostile witness, but in my opinion, that would only go to help the defense when Brian Steele and the others are able to interact with Mr. Woody here. Mr. Copeland, that's his name, Mr. Copeland, Kenneth Copeland.
Of the Mikion Garlington.
Street name.
Little D.
For sure.
How do you know Little D?
I didn't birth him.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I almost birthed him.
You almost birthed him?
Yeah.
Tell the jury, what do you mean by that?
I mean, he my son.
Okay. And let me ask you this. Do you know another person who's referenced as Little D?
What you mean?
Do you know someone who's called Little D from Cleveland?
Oh, I heard of him.
You heard of him. Okay, we'll talk about him in a moment.
You said what now?
Tell me who you recognize in 380 Yankee.
Oh, me and Coco.
Who's Coco?
The ugly boy right here.
Okay.
Not only did they need Woody to identify that he knew these guys, they also needed him to identify that he knew Young Thug and explain the relationship between the two.
My question is, when he was not in the studio and you hung out with him, where would you hang out with him at?
We used to do fun stuff, like go to like bowling alleys and stuff like that. He went to the kids' football game, I remember. I've been to the club with them.
To the club? Oh, man.
I've been on shows, correct that.
You said on shows?
Yeah, like when I watch him perform.
All right.
Now, at this point, things weren't really going that great for the prosecution, but it was right around this time where we seen something really big happen in this case. And that was that Brian Steele apparently obtained information that said that the judge had a closed door meeting with the prosecuting attorney, Woody, and Woody's at the time stand-in attorney. And in this meeting, Brian Steele alleged that the judge and the prosecutor coerced Woody into basically lying on the stand, right? And Brian Steele was upset because he wasn't invited to this quote unquote ex parte meeting. Now, Brian Steele said that this was highly inappropriate for them to do this, possibly illegal. He stood up in the middle of court and he called the judge out on this in front of everybody. Now, it was during this meeting that Woody apparently told the judge and the prosecutor that when he got on the stand, he was going to admit that he's the one that killed Big Nut. Now, if he was to get on the stand and do that, that could really hurt this case because remember, a big milestone of it is that Thug rented the car that two other alleged YSL members used to kill Big Nut. So if Woody gets up there and says he killed Big Nut, it could really dismantle a lot of things in this case. So Brian Steele was arguing that they basically put undue pressure on Woody to not say that.
So real quick, I'm throwing up on the screen the a summary document of the whole the filing against Judge Glanville by the young man that is in jail because they allege that he killed Big Nut, which is, I think his name is Gunna. And if you're interested in it, on my Buy Me a Coffee page, I put the entire document. It's like 20 pages. I put it on there. You're welcome to go grab it. Of course, it's free. But I want you to focus just on points 18 and 19. Upon information and belief, in response to Copeland's statement that he would lie, ADA Hilton, that's the young lady that's up talking right now, ADA Hilton, stated that she would not prosecute sworn witness Copeland if he were to lie on the stand. Let's go to 19. Upon information and belief, sworn witness Copeland also stated to ADA Hilton that he would testify that he killed Donovan Thomas Jr., aka Big Nut. You're welcome to check the whole complaint out, but I just wanted to read that part right there because that's a barn burner. If he had got up there and said, I killed, that's actually why, if you watch the case on Thursday and Friday, why ADA Hilton kept asking him, did you kill Big Nut? The reason she did that is because she wanted to prove, she knew that if he had said that, or if he came back later on and said, she wanted him to say it a couple times, so he could not come back later on and say, yeah, I killed him. Because she knew that he was thinking about considering actually taking the L for this and basically torpedoing the entire case. So that's what they're referring to. And again, it's on Buy Me a Coffee. If the moderators want to drop the link to it, that'd be super dope. You can check it out. It's really interesting. All right, let us go. Let us go. And it's free, by the way. Thank you so much for liking the video. I see lots of good people in here. It looks like about almost 50 of you have liked it. I love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. By the way, thank you, Berean Babes, for stopping by. I see you so much. I see you. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Great content creator. Check out what she's doing on her channel, Violet. Go ahead and drop your link in there as well. All right, let's get done. Let's go.
on the stand, and even went as far as to say if he did get on the stand and say that, they would hold him in contempt or possibly charge him with perjury, and he could be facing jail time for that. Now, Judge Earl Glanfield actually got pretty mad about being called out for this, and instead of addressing that, he only wanted to really get the answer to one question, and that was, who snitched on us? He asked Brian Steele, who gave you this information? And Brian Steele refused to tell him, which led to Judge Glanville getting extremely mad and actually holding Brian Steele in contempt of court and sentencing him to 20 days in jail. However, the Georgia Supreme Court granted him a reprieve and said that he wouldn't have to be doing that. Now, that don't mean that he don't have to do it ever. It just means that he don't have to do that jail time right now. It was a pretty crazy moment in the case, and I covered it in a couple videos back, so I'm not gonna play all the clips right here and waste y'all's time. If y'all want to see it, y'all could just go check out them other videos I made. Now, I had to say all of that in order to make the next part make sense, because the stand-in attorney that was in that closed door ex parte meeting was a woman named Kayla Bumpus. Now, Judge Glanville wanted to know, how did Brian Steele get this information? And just by reasonable deduction, everybody assumed that it was her, because it was only the judge, the prosecution team, and this stand-in attorney that was in the room. So there was really only one person that Brian Steele could have got this information from, and it was her. Now,
Okay, I want to stop right here because a lot of people have asked, why are you rooting for Young Thug? Why are you rooting for Young Thug? I'm not rooting for Young Thug. I do want justice to be done. I live here in Atlanta, for crying out loud. And this whole thing going on with Young Thug and the YSL and the, there's another branch of the Crips, of the Bloods going on here in Atlanta is crazy. I didn't realize just how insane it was. So no, I'm not rooting for Young Thug. I want justice to prevail. On the same note, however, the ends don't justify the means. So therefore, if you're going to cheat and you're going to do things underhanded, AKA threaten witnesses, AKA hold back information, that part right there is not cool. And then to see that the judge is far more interested, way more interested in holding Brian Steele accountable for finding out about the meeting that he had, rather than recognizing that the meeting he had was wrong and acknowledging like, yo, that was wrong. We need to have a discussion about that. Because that's what's going to end up happening is he's going to end up getting recused because of it. Because he's going to end up calling that young lady back in there. If she was the one that gave him up, she's going to call him back in there and she's going to spill the beans and she's going to make him look like a whole stir-fried fool. And this whole case is already taking in water. It's already getting flooded in the lower decks. It's already there. So there's nothing new here. Now it's just a matter of how long it's going to take for the bottom decks to midship to flood. That's it. Now, that being the case, I'm not cheering for their loss. I want them to do the right thing. And if the case is so lock solid, if the case is so solid, and you're building it on Woody, I'm sorry, I don't think the case is that solid anymore. So that's why somebody asked me that, are you rooting for YSL? No, absolutely not. I do believe they probably did a lot of stuff that they're being accused of, but you got to be able to prove it. And if they can't prove it, then this man is innocent until proven guilty. And if you can't prove it without cheating, then therein is a problem. If you're a better team, just beat them. That's it. That's all. So let me go. Somebody said, what'd you say here? Get this guy out of the way. You said Steele has a lifetime invitation to all barbecues, regardless of his potato salad recipe. Come on now. Come on. He can put cranberries in them joints. He can put cranberries in. He's welcome to the cookout. Absolutely. He's here in Georgia. Hey, he's welcome to the cookout.
Actually ordered her in a few weeks to show up at a show cause hearing, which means that they're going to have to show up, and she possibly could be held in contempt of court as well, and also could face jail time for leaking this information. But after all of the chaos about this closed door ex parte meeting, apparently Woody decided that he didn't want this woman to represent her anymore, resulting in this classically viral courtroom moment where he basically says she fired and fires her right in front of everybody.
Before we call in our jury, it has been brought to the court's attention that Mr. Copeland's counsel, Ms. Bumpus, would like to be released. Is that correct, madam? Yes, sir. Okay, all right. Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
She's fired.
She's fired? Okay. So do you wish to represent yourself? And
Okay. How does Woody spell fired? Now, I know fired. I know how fired is spelled. But all right, real quick. Y'all got to go ahead and spam it in there in the chat. How do you spell fire? She fired? How does that work? How would you spell that? I got it. All right, I dropped mine in there. Tell me how you would spell fire. She fired.
And in these particular, in terms of any issues you may have in this particular.
Do I got a choice?
I'm sorry?
Do I got a choice?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And what are those?
You can keep your lawyer that you have right now.
I don't want her.
All right. You could certainly hire another lawyer, or the court could appoint you a lawyer.
Do what I need a lawyer for? This one, what
No, it's just the court is just asking you whether it's your choice, sir.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
That's some truly classic stuff we got to witness right there. But let's move on. Let's get back to the actual testimony that he was giving.
So you realize that Woody's real attorney was actually on vacation this week. Can you imagine you're on vacation with your wife and your kids? You're on the beach somewhere. You're somewhere with a fruity drink with an umbrella in it, trying to get some rest, trying to get some relaxation, trying to recharge and get yourself back up to up and ready for this case when you get back home. Maybe it's an anniversary or a birthday or something of that nature, and you just want to relax. And you got the sun. You want to come back a couple ethnicities darker. You just want to go and have a good time. And you decide to scroll on over to your phone, and your phone is going absolutely ballistic. You're getting messages and DMs and calls and everything, smoke signals. The phone is on fire. What is going on? And all you see is your client, Woody, Detective Woody, in here acting a whole stir-fried fool on the stand. Can you imagine what that lawyer is thinking? Can you imagine him, what he's thinking? Oh my gosh, that man's probably like, look, can I just go ahead and quit and just stay right here on this little island? Do they need a lawyer in this island? Do y'all need a lawyer? Because I could open up a little hut. He probably just want to say, look, I don't even want to come back. I'm just going to stay wherever I'm at. I think his name is Melnick. I'm just going to stay right where I'm at. I ain't even coming back. Oh my goodness, this story is so bananas. Oh my God.
So at one point in this trial, the DA, the prosecutor, decided that she needed Woody to clarify some information that he had given to detectives back when he had an interview with them, the interview that was leaked online, right? The interrogation where he was spilling his guts. She decided that she wanted to ask him to clarify some of the things that he had told detectives during that interview. Now, the interview took place in 2021, and Woody is a convicted felon. So he had gotten caught with a firearm that he wasn't supposed to have because he's a felon, and he was facing up to like 10 years in jail because of that. So instead of just taking those charges, taking his time and laying down, he decided that he was going to tell detectives everything he knew about previous crimes that had been committed by alleged YSL members. And that included Young Thug, because during the interview, he had told those detectives that he would help set Young Thug up and get him to confess to the crimes that had been committed. However, when it came time for the prosecution to, reiterate those subjects while Woody was on the stand, he basically told her, look, I don't know what you're talking about during that interview. I just told detectives whatever they wanted to hear at the time. I was trying to finesse my way out the situation.
Did you tell myself and my colleagues, Ms. Love and others, about Lil D and Shannon being in your vehicle the night of the murder?
Huh?
Yesterday, did you tell myself, Ms. Love, and a few of my other colleagues that Lil D...
That's 21 people in that frame right there. That's 21 people. And I'm assuming That's most of them. That's a lot of folk, man. Oh, there's a lot of people, man. That is crazy.
Shannon were in the car with you the night of the murder of Diamond Thomas.
I told you and them that what I told investigators in June when Nut got killed, something different, because I was trying to finesse my way out of a situation. So I said, I picked up D and Shannon. D never told me nothing. I made it up to clear myself up. And that's it.
Okay. And was that yesterday that you said that? Did you tell us that yesterday, what you just said?
You asked me to be truthful. And I didn't, and I told you. What I told the investigator back then wasn't me being truthful. So I'm telling you something that I didn't tell them because I ain't trying to go back to jail.
I got it. But I asked you was yesterday. The first time you said this part, and now what you're saying today is what is truthful. What you're saying right now, what you're trying to tell the jury right now, is what you are now saying is truthful.
What I'm trying to tell you is our conversation was about something that I said in the past.
I understand. I'm asking you.
If you want to get a good laugh, look at ADA Love's face down at the very bottom. I'm gonna back up just a little smidgen to where the camera moves over. Look at how ADA Love is basically mouthing signals to ADA Hilton as she's asking these questions.
Tell the jury right now is what you are now saying is truthful.
She's got the short
What
bob
I'm trying to tell you
in the bottom right corner now.
Our conversation was about
look at it.
Something that I said in the past.
I understand. I'm asking you.
I asked that Mr. Copeland allowed to finish his.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I thought you was that.
Mr. Copeland, you need to finish your answers?
No, I need a break, Yana.
Say again?
I need a break.
So on one hand, Woody sit in that interrogation room and told them detectives everything that they wanted to hear. On the other hand, when he got on the stand, he said, I was lying to them people. I was just telling them what they wanted to hear. I wanted my freedom back. I was trying to go home. So that was the second statement he gave about it. But that isn't all he said about it, because he was asked about this interrogation again. And this time he was basically like, I don't even remember the interrogation.
Do you recall what Thug said in 2015 to Kel?
Yes.
Yes, you remember what Thug said?
I don't recall what was said. I don't remember what was said.
Okay.
I don't remember me talking to the investigators about it.
All right. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that when Kel got on the phone, that Thug said the beef ain't over with until you pay for my window? You shot my window.
Yes.
Yes, you remember telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't remember what I done told the police.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Are you just saying yes now to speed up your questioning?
Most definitely.
Okay. Are you saying yes, that's what you told Detective Gaither?
I know I ain't complete school, but I think I'm speaking proper English. I told you, I don't recall nothing I said to no police. You keep sitting right here asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. I'm tired of it. I'm drained.
Okay. Well, if you would just answer the questions properly.
I am answering the question. You asked me, I said yes, yes. When I say yes, you ask me the same question over and over and over and over and over.
But did you just tell the court or this jury that you're saying yes just to move the process along?
I think I said it loud and clear.
So again, will you just answer the questions and we can move the process along?
You keep asking. Okay, yes.
Bro really got on the stand and was just saying yes to everything, bro. She could have asked him if he went to the moon and he would have been like, yes, because he's so tired of being questioned. He just wants to go home at this point. This is similar to what happens in like interrogation rooms where they keep you in the interrogation room for, 32 hours or something like that. So you just start voluntarily admitting the crimes because you're just tired of being in there. This is very similar to that right there.
Did Thug ever speak with you about his relationship with Nut?
No.
Did you ever observe Thug and Nut together?
I never saw those two together. I never been around those two together. No, it never crossed my mind.
So how were you able to tell Detective Gaither that Nut and Thug was cool?
Because they're questioning me and I'm trying to get them off of me, and she asked me questions about Nut and Thug, I guess, and I'm telling her whatever she asked me. Let's say she asked me a question about the sky. I'm gonna say, yeah, I seen the sky. It's blue. Whatever she asked me, I'm gonna agree to that. I'm gonna say whatever she asked me. If she asked me about this reporter right here, I'm gonna say, yep, she's sitting outside me with white tennis shoes on. I'm gonna say something just because I want her to believe I'm telling her the truth. That I want her to get me out of jail.
What, she has on white tennis shoes, don't she?
Don't you got on white tennis shoes? She got on Chucks.
Right, and they white, right?
What color your shoes is? Okay. She got on Chucks.
So you telling the truth?
What color your shoes is? She said they white.
Right, so you're telling the truth then?
Well, it depends.
Now, I'm laughing and giggling while I'm watching, this guy give testimony. But the truth is, nothing about this trial is funny. It is a train wreck, an absolute mess. It really shows how messed up the judicial system is in this country, right? Like, I'm laughing, but it's really no laughing matter. But either way, Woody has been one of the most entertaining witnesses I have ever seen get on the stand ever. But he's not even close to being the last witness that's going to be called. I mean, at the rate we're going with this trial, if you had a kid around the time that this trial started, they will be graduating college by the time this trial finishes. Now, that actually wasn't the end of Woody's testimony. He is scheduled next week to get back on the stand and deliver more testimony. And remember, this is a state's witness. The prosecution decided to call this guy up on the stand. I don't know how they think it's helping their case putting him up there, but they've put him up there, and at this point, it's too late to go back. Now, before I end the video, I do want to leave y'all with this one post that Woody made on his Instagram that I found pretty funny. It says, "Job, have you ever went to jail? Me, no, I never went to jail. I was taken to jail." And I just thought that was kind of funny. But his testimony is going to resume next week. There's no telling what we're going to see. Y'all stay locked in. I'm probably going to be covering it because, how can I not?
All right. So if you want to watch that video or want to check out that YouTuber, I just found his take on it to be very informative. And so anyway, I left the link down in the description for that video that we just watched. And there's been some great comments about Woody right here. So I definitely want to address those. Look, I don't take any, I'm not overlooking the fact that Woody's life is probably in danger. As you're told, as he's been telling the story and as the story's been unfolding, I mean, it looked like both sides of the gangs were after Woody at one time or another, whether it be shooting at him, shooting at his girlfriend's house, his mama's house, his uncle. It was crazy. Again, this has just been bananas here in Atlanta. And so I don't take light on it. I mean, he's probably trying his best to answer these questions without answering these questions so he doesn't be seen as a snitch, so that it's not used to further Young Thug's situation and actually ultimately end with him in jail. So, I mean, I feel sorry for the guy in that respect. And the reason I also said I feel sorry for ADA Hilton is because, in my opinion, she's probably the least qualified to actually be up asking questions. She does not seem like she has a lot of, I don't know. This might be her 25th year in law. It might be her 25th day. She just doesn't seem very confrontational. She doesn't seem very gruff, if you will. And and it just seemed like Woody is just having a field day with her. And even to watch ADA Love, who I think is much more qualified to deal with this hard type of a hardened criminal as a witness, she's just sitting there riding along with him. Like, well, why are y'all not helping her? So that's why I said I feel sorry for ADA Hilton, because I was like, I don't feel like they're trying to help her. They're trying to give her a leg up, if you will, in this situation, but rather just let her keep floundering, because she asking questions and they don't make sense. Maybe she should jump around to another question. She seems like she's going question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. She's following her line of questioning, and it seems crazy to me. So let us get in here. What are we doing? and I mean, he said it, Michelle. He said a lot of time, like, look, I don't remember. Now, granted, I think you should ask some more questions about something if they say, that they were involved in. Somebody was shooting at you on the highway and you say you don't remember. Hold on now. We got to have some conversation. I got you. But if you ask somebody, what did so-and-so say to another person? I don't remember. Well, to me, that would be logical and reasonable if somebody doesn't remember that. If you have a way to impeach his testimony, then to go ahead and bring that out and stop asking him these questions again. Now, I don't know about the whole why he needs an attorney if he has immunity scenario. I see a lot of not questions, but I see a lot of comments pertaining to that. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more clarity on Monday when his actual attorney returns, or Tuesday, whenever he's I'm sure we'll probably hear about it on Monday because he'll still be giving testimony. So, yeah. And I think Apex is a great point. I don't think the system, the system is full of flawed people, is basically, I think you and I agree on that. And I think the system the judicial system is run by flawed people. So example being the Trump case up in New York. The system, the flawed people, sinful people navigated the system to convict Trump of 34 felonies. That was just insane. But so I think when I say the system is broken, that's more what I'm talking about, is the people that are running the system, people that are involved in this judicial system or in whatever the system that we're referring to. They themselves are not striving to be better. They're striving to get over or punish their enemies, whatever like that. Miss Hilton needs guidance from ADA Love and DA Willis on the structuring of questions in order to lay out a story that the jury can easily follow. Ms. Hilton's questions are all over the place. That is exactly what, thank you. Y'all put texting in the chat. Thank you so much, because I was trying to explain that. That's exactly what I wanted. Y'all spam texting in the chat. That's exactly what, thank you so much. Because I could not say it like that. Y'all go ahead. Hit texting in the chat. Thank you so much. That's exactly what the problem is. I just don't feel like she know. And I'm hear me. I don't want to sound like I'm being mean to her. So if you ever hear this, ADA Hilton, because if I ever get brought up on RICO charges, I'm gonna need your help. Help your brother out. I'm not dunking on you. I just think she needs guidance. She needs mentorship. If you were a star athlete in high school and you get you get picked up in college, you're going to need a mentor to help you because you're now in the big leagues. And if, let's say you're a star athlete in college and by God's grace, you go to a professional league, you're going to need a mentor. That's not saying that you're not a good player. That's not saying that you're not able to run the ball or hit the ball or shoot the ball, but that you need a mentor to help you because now you're in the big leagues. And one day, if you stay in a professional league for 5, 10, 15 years, you're one day going to be somebody else's mentor. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't think she knows how to run these questions. Wait, I'm sorry, right here. I don't think she knows how to run these questions. And they do seem disjointed. I have no idea why you keep asking and harping about something as ancillary as how old are you or how old are your children? I don't know what that means. Like, what's the purpose of that? I don't know what is the age of his children. We know he had an 8-month-old because at one point somebody was shooting at him while he had his 8-month-old in his hand. Like, okay, we know it's an 8-month-old. He actually said it. He's shooting with the 8-month-old. It was a crazy story. Okay, why do I need to know about the other ones though? Why? If he's only going to give you so many good answers, why waste them on how old are your children? Nobody, I don't know what that means. And so, no, I agree with you. Thank y'all so much for spamming texting in the chat, because that's exactly the question. Man, I'm going to have to cut and paste that because I feel like I dropped the ball when I was talking to lead attorney this week about that. I just didn't. This is a perfect what I was trying to say. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, and I don't understand, and I hate to say it, I don't know why Woody fired that young lady. She was only going to be there for the week while his real attorney was on vacation. And I don't know why he fired her. I think he needed somebody to be there to kind of guide him in answering these questions. But maybe she left because she knew that there was some shady dealings going on. Maybe she got pulled into the ex parte meeting. She's like, what in the world's going on here? Oh, no, I can't do this. Hey, Woody, why don't you go on and fire me? Why don't you go ahead and say you don't want me to be your, because she couldn't recuse herself. So maybe she said, hey, you just go ahead and say you don't want me to be your lawyer anymore. Just go ahead and do that and fire me. Maybe that was it. That actually makes sense to me now. I'm like, maybe that's what happened. And then on the way out, she slid Brian Steele all of her notes. Like, hey, I'm getting kicked out of class, but here my notes are right here. Bang. I mean, that could be it. Yeah. Yeah. Little Woody, I mean, I hate it because it's more than likely going to happen. Something's going to probably sadly happen to him or his family because he had a lot of people after him at one point. I think there's like 4 instances where somebody was shooting at him. 4 separate instances where somebody was shooting at him. I'm like, dude, what in the world, man? What is this, John Wick? What's going on here? Oh, this is a great point too, Costa Camellia. She said, I was watching the trial during the question. I was bored to tears. The poor jury must have been rolling their eyes and or passing out. Like, I don't think you can fall asleep in a jury box. Like, that's a big deal. So I can't imagine. Oh my gosh. Imagine if that room is cold and you're like a cold sleeper and you're there all day. Oh my gosh, it would be miserable. And you can't be off task. You can't read a book. You can't be sketching. You definitely can't be online. So you got to, oh my gosh, that's got to free the jury. Free the jury. What's going on, Nakia? Good to see you. What did I say? Because I've heard people doing this. I think it started with lead. It is Miss Hilton, right? Hilton. Okay, now I gotta look it up. All right, let me see. It's Hilton, and I apologize. I hope I was saying it right, but I know people have been having a ball with that. Okay, her last name is Hilton. Yes. Okay. Okay, it's Hilton. Now it's spelled differently. I think that's definitely not the way you spell Hilton. But I have seen that. I didn't. So, okay. So I'll make sure I'm calling her Hilton. I think I did say Hilton, but I have heard other people call her everything else under the sun. She did ask the same question 10 different ways. And that is a strategy for lawyers, but it just didn't seem like the questions that you were asking, they didn't make sense. Why do you care how old he is? Or let's say, why do you care how old his kids are? What does it matter where he went to high school or went to elementary school? He said he went to several different elementary schools. I know where Slater Elementary School is. And so if he was in that area, he probably was a bad kid. Let's just tell the truth, shame the devil. So why does that matter? I don't get it. And I'm sure unless the jury is really well informed, why in the world would they do that? Oh, jury fatigue is going to be a mess. I'm sorry. I would have gotten myself kicked off the jury by now. I believe in the duty of a what you call it? The civic duty of being a juror, but I would have got myself kicked off. I'm telling you. The one time Dear Woke Christian was invited to be a juror, I mentioned that I listened to talk radio. So that's how long ago it was. I listened to libertarian talk radio, and I mentioned that in my jury pool and during my questionnaire, and I got recused because I listened to conservative libertarian talk radio. So that was my one time. That might have been like when I first got out of college. I might have even still been in college, because I don't even think it. Because my wife got called like 3 years into our marriage, and she was on a murder trial, but it was very quick. It was very quick. So yeah, it might have been like my last year in college. So we're looking at like 98, 97, somewhere around there maybe, because I got married in 2002. So, but anyway, long story short, I never got on a jury because I mentioned that I listened to libertarian talk radio. I would have absolutely got myself kicked off. I would get myself kicked out of this jury so fast. I don't know. I would get a Trump tattoo across my back and come in there with no shirt on. I'm sorry. I'd have to get kicked off, because the amount of shenanigans that goes on, I just couldn't be able to do it. I would have to get kicked off. I'm sorry. Put me on a traffic case, put me on 10 misdemeanors, put me on 14 running over a squirrel with an ATV cases. But this case right here, and you talking about 3 years, possibly longer? No, dog, I'm good. You're going to have to go ahead and get that alternate, because I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm just being honest. Your boy just wouldn't make it. I'm not going to be able to make it. Yeah, Judge Glanville, I'm not going to be able to make it in today. And next week is looking real bad too. And matter of fact, go on, just go ahead and I quit. I'm fired. What's going on, Standing for Christ? Thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see you. This is another great Christian content creator. Glad to have him stop by and show his face in the place. Zach over there. If the moderators could, just go and drop Zach's information down in the chat. Go check out what he's doing over there on Standing for Christ, his YouTube channel. He makes excellent content. Glad to have you stop by today, friend. All right, what we got here? Yeah, see, Michelle got it. Michelle wrote it like very scholarly. The mentor helps navigate the transition to the next level. I mean, that's right there. That's it right there. In a world where we need mentors. That's it, Michelle. Thank you so much. Very well stated. I love it. Now, see, here come transplanted Texan, y'all. Transplanted Texan over here causing that trouble. Here he comes. Listen what he said. What does transplanted Texan say, Jason? Michelle, the mentor, is too busy in her pulpit whistle stop tour in Cobb County with her boo thing Nathan crying about how people are mispronouncing her name to worry about the ADAs in the YSL case. I mean, she's not lying. You're not lying. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Hey, I'm good, Apex, with, I think her name is Bumpkins. I'm fine with her giving Brian Steele that information. I don't want either of them to go to jail for it. I don't want either of them to get in trouble for it, because I think throwing Brian Steele in jail for 20 days, throwing her in jail for 20 days excuses the fact that the man is doing something wrong. Like, address that fact. Like, matter of fact, here we go. I'll take it back. I'm okay with Brian Steele and Bumpkins going to jail if Judge Glanville has to go to jail too for doing the same thing. Because, I mean, the meeting he had is uber problematic. The fact that somebody told on him is not the biggest problem. The problem is, dude, you're doing wrong things, my guy. So that would be it. So, I'm sorry, what did Apex say, though? Apex said she was the one that informed Steele in the meeting, and they were trying to protect her by sending her home, is my theory. You know what? I agree with that 100%. I just don't want her to go to jail for it. I don't want Brian Steele to go to jail for it. I want Judge Glanville to be held accountable for doing the wrong thing. And I also wouldn't mind the ADAs getting their hands slapped as well, because they're aware that this is wrong practice. They're aware that they're not supposed to be doing this. This is not, look, even a pre-K law student knows that a judge should not be meeting with part of the court without the other part. The prosecutors instead of the defense instead of the prosecutors. Everybody knows that. But the only thing I'm wondering is also, the court reporter was there. So a lot of people are forgetting that it was Glanville, the ADA, so it's probably Love and Hilton, as well as Woody and Bumpkus. But there was also the court reporter was there as well. So there's another person that could have told, in my opinion. Not saying that she did it. Again, I probably believe it was Bumpkus. But interesting. Okay. All right. I see what Michelle said. Michelle, but see, this is something weird. So this is a good question. So what does Michelle say? Michelle says, I suspect they fired him because she didn't speak up for him in the meeting. She called the lead attorney and he called Steele. Okay, got you. I don't see any problem with that. My only question is, have these meetings been going on before? Is this the first ex parte meeting that has been had between the ADA and Woody's attorney? Is this the first one? Because if not, she probably didn't know that this is not normal practice that they're having these meetings. She probably said, I'm having a meeting. Let me run into this meeting. She got in there like, whoa, what's happening here? Yo, this is craziness. Oh, whoa, you doing what? Oh, yeah, we can't be doing that. Hey, Woody, let's do this. I need you to fire me. I need you to tell Judge Glanville, you do not want me to represent you anymore. That you firing me, you getting rid of me. Be very clear, very demonstrative. Don't play any games, okay? And I'm gonna go tell, and I need you to fire me. That's it. That's what I think happened in my mind. She typed up them notes. She sent Brian Steele a text or whatever, gave him those notes, probably wrote them on a piece of paper, I don't know, and then let Woody fire her. And that got her off the hook. That got Woody off the hook, and that gave Brian the ammunition he needed. That's how I understand it. But anything could have happened. All right, man. Y'all had some good conversation about that. Yo, little Woody. Yo, the funny thing is, little Woody has been on YouTube for a while. If you start searching for YSL Woody, you are going to go down a rabbit trail you did not know you wanted. You're like, how did I get down here? He has been on YouTube for a long time. So he's almost, I hate to say YouTube famous. He's kind of famous a little bit. Definitely in Mechanicsville. So he's been all over the place. He don't need no TV show. He needs to go, if he gets out of this, he needs to go spend some time reflecting on his life decisions and look at some land in Oklahoma. He needs to get out of the game and get out of this town as quickly. If he gets out of here safe, unscathed, then he needs to look at some other options. But Mechanicsville in Atlanta is off limits. Get out of here quick. I think you're right, though. I don't think they're already in trouble. So to me, relying on criminals to convict other criminals is just, and that's your strongest suit. Your strongest element is Woody's testimony. To me, that's problematic. That is problematic. Yeah, her name is spelled with a Y. Is Hilton spelled really weird. But I will make sure I pronounce it Hilton and not call her something else, because a lot of people are just being silly. All right. I think, listen to what bus driver says. Bus driver is looking a lot like he might be in relationship with Ebony K. Williams. but I digress. I think Lil Woody should take his line behind and channel all that foolishness into an acting career and go be typecasted in some sitcom. You know, yeah, I mean, there's a Netflix movie for Woody, or definitely, was that Tubi? Yeah. Tyler Perry is looking for him. So I agree with you. Bus driver. I got you. They're warm-up questions, but they just don't seem. And lead attorney said that they were warm-up questions or something of that degree. I don't think he used the word warm-up, but he said that, they're a purpose for them, so on and so forth. And I don't disagree. I only wonder, can you ask better warm-up questions? Maybe that's what I'm saying. Can you ask a different warm-up question to kind of get the, to get the game going? But what's the purpose of knowing where you went to elementary school? What is that purpose? As a warm-up question. Same thing with your age. I didn't think that was necessary. Maybe come back in a little later and talk about his age after he's actually answers a question. And you already know he's adversarial. So she knew when he got on the stand, when he pled the fifth, she already said, do you want to be here? Do you want to talk to me? Are you going to answer my questions? She was already confrontational from there. And now granted, Woody didn't make it much better. Let's be honest, okay? Tell the truth, right? But if you know that, then why not ask a better question? Okay? That's just my 2 cents. Again, I'm a pre-K law student. I have no idea. Yo, somebody said that Woody is the Tamu Tyrese. Y'all wild, man. Y'all are wild. Your dad was expelled from several Atlanta high schools in the 50s? Yikes. We might need to talk to your pops, man. Really? See, and I agree, Dan. That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel sorry for ADA Hilton, because this is just a show trial. I agree. It's just meant to showcase their abilities, whatever. But because trust me, if they slam dunk and they get Young Thug convicted, and let's say it's a barn burner, he is convicted, he confesses on the stand, he breaks down, I did it, whatever. You know good and well, as sure as my name is Jason and today is Saturday, Fonnie Willis is going to be in front of those cameras talking about how she led this case to convict Young Thug. You know it. And we ain't seen hide nor hair of Fonnie Willis at any time during this trial. Matter of fact, Woody was up there answering crazy questions while Fonnie was at Turner Chapel, because I was watching it. I was watching Woody's testimony, and then when Fonnie got up there, I cut it off, and then we started live streaming it. So it's just crazy, man. All right, let's see. All right, good commentary. Lots of good back and forth. I'm always enjoying this. Lots of good conversation. Oh, Dan is coming with the haymakers today. He said Nate is still a married man, but chasing after the fanny skirt. Oh man. Ooh. Hey, bro, you hurting the feelings today. You hurting them. Thank you so much, y'all. This is a good conversation. I do want to talk about this before we get too far afield. And again, moderators, thank you all so much. Oh, you think the court reporter did it? But why? Like on her IG and her LinkedIn, she says she's the official court reporter for Judge Glanville. Like, why would she want to put that in jeopardy? It's possible. I'm not saying that she didn't do it, but why? What would be her motivation for doing that? Because I'm sure she's probably heard other ex parte conversations that were totally out of pocket. Okay. Really? Okay, so Caustic Chameleon says, Ben Cho, the attorney in the Johnny Depp, commented on the channel today that Bupkis could be in a lot of trouble for disclosing that to Steele. Okay, That's fine. And I'm fine. Whatever happens to Kayla for revealing it, I want the exact same thing to happen to Glanville for doing it. And then I'll be fine. I will be perfectly fine. We'll start a GoFundMe. We'll get some free Bumpkins t-shirts, whatever. But if she has to go to jail for 20 days, then Glanville got to go to jail for 20 days or more because he did that. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm like you're almost saying that, because please understand, what we're watching right now is we're watching the state compel a witness to snitch. They saw something wrong and they're telling everybody what they saw wrong. So Bumpkins is the exact same thing. She saw something wrong and she told everything. Now the state is actually trying to penalize her for doing what Woody is doing. I'm sorry. No, I don't think that will work. If that's the case, I want Glanville to experience the same amount of whatever. If it's a fine, 17-page paper, walk backwards down Peachtree Street, whatever, I want Glanville to do the exact same thing, if not worse. That's all. Because he was doing worse. What we're saying by penalizing this woman, if she did it, if she's the one that did it, what we're doing is saying that snitchers get stitches. That's what we're saying. As they say in the hood and they say in the streets, snitches get stitches. That's what they're saying. And I think that's wrong. Not the crime needs to be called out. That's all I'm saying. Oh, my bad, Costa Camille. When I said it, I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if, so I apologize about that, Costa Camille. All right. Nathan was with Sonia Allen prior. These these indiscretions have been going on for a long time. You're right. And Sonia Allen is the DA here in Cobb County. Yikes. And you know who lives in Cobb County. RICO. That's right. Pray for your boy. But if the court reporter heard it, what about it caused her to divulge that information? That's why I was asking, is this the first time Judge Glanville has done that? If it's the first time and she was like taken aback, I got you. But if he's been having special meetings and private meetings with ADA and witnesses before up to this point, what is special about now? They put it all on the internet. Yeah. These people would not have made it during the untouchable days. This is not mafioso type of people. It's a different type of criminal. So she's solid because she wears Chucks. Well, I was looking at her Twitter feed and it's different. It's a little bit different. Okay. I can see that. It's been said that she told Milnick and he told. Look, I don't care. Again, I don't care if they could cart Brian Steele out of there like Hannibal Lecter on the cart with the face mask and all of that. They just have to do the exact same thing to Judge Glanville. That's all. Because Judge Glanville is actually worse, in my opinion, than, because he's a referee. He's a ref. So this is akin to the ref meeting with one of the teams in the back room, but the other team is on the court practicing and warming up. And the ref is giving instruction about how to play the game. That's crazy. The court is supposed to be non-biased. It's supposed to be non-biased. I think there is but please understand, there's, let me say it real quick. KJV Bible Believer says, wouldn't there be some sort of official order to prohibit discussing the contents of a meeting with other attorneys in the case in order to in order to sanction a participant for discussing it, or rather disclosing it? There is. And I'm sure it's probably fair to say that whoever disclosed it violated that. The problem is you can't have a party with only one side of the team there. It's like a boxing match, a basketball game, any football game. You can't have just one team on the field. And they're meeting with the ref. And the ref is explaining to them how to play the game or how to win against the other team that's still in the back, or vice versa. That makes no sense. That you can't do that. So again, Judge Glanville is just as wrong, in my opinion, as anybody else. So if we're going to say that Brian Steele was wrong for divulging the information, or the court reporter or Bumkus was wrong, then that's fine. I'm willing to accept that. Again, I'll get some free Brian shirts. We'll get some free Bumkus coffee mugs. The only thing is, I need Judge Oral Glanville to also be put in the same punishment, if not worse, for doing what he's doing. That's all. That's all. And then from there, well, I will be done with it. But I don't think it's fair or right that that woman, she just seemed like she was, a substitute teacher. As a former classroom teacher, and you get a sub, you always want the best sub possible. Because deep down in your mind, something could go left that a new sub might not understand. Your worst fear is something like a fire drill or a school lockdown or something like that. So you're at home chilling, or you're at the doctor's office taking care of your kid, and you're like, Lord, please don't let there be anything going on in school today. Please don't let there be anything going on in school today. Don't let the superintendent come visit today and my kids be off the rails. And they want to come see the second grade class, or they want to go see, we heard about this great teacher down there, and they want to come to my class. Please don't let that happen, Lord. Please, please. You praying. You praying, right? Because you don't want that, because even if I got the best sub, and I'll tell you, like Atlanta Public, they always had the best substitute teachers. They had the best. Hands down, I'll fight you in the parking lot, for real. They were the best. But even the best substitutes, and you had them on speed dial. I still got that number now, and I've retired for 5 years. I still got some of those subs' phone numbers. But you would be like, please, please, don't let anything happen. Don't let anything go left. Nothing change, anything like that. That'll throw my day off, because I don't want to come in tomorrow and find out that something happened with my class. Come in the next day and you find out that the sub had to come to the office because a kid told his mom that you didn't give him a lollipop, didn't give him a sticker. So the sub had to come in and answer questions to the principal about why you didn't give them lollipop or sticker 2 weeks ago. If it was a lie, I wouldn't have told you the story, right? It really did happen. So, and the principal knows the sub wasn't there, but is asking the sub questions because the parent can't come back tomorrow. So they got to ask you today. Insane. And then you come back in the next day and you find out that, why did you ask this woman this? Why? So you derailed my entire class. Had to split my class up between other teachers. So my sub can come here and ask questions about something ridiculous as I didn't give the kid a sticker. For real? That's what you're talking about? So, okay, I don't mean to be long-winded about that, because I do want to talk about Fonnie. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much. By the way, thank you so much for the very gracious super chat. Brandon Burks coming through, helping me, your boy, out with my RICO defense fund. He says, I've heard that Hilton has to take her cry breaks. No, that's the, I'm sorry. Yes. Hilton. Yes. Believe it. When rumors spread, there's truth somewhere. If true, she still has a conscience. No, you're right. She was actually crying on camera one day. I don't remember what day it was. Don't quote me on this. It might've been Tuesday or it might've been Thursday. She was literally crying at the bench, sitting next to ADA Love, crying. And yeah, no, that's Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Very kind. Y'all thank Brandon for that. Thank you so much. Y'all drop Brandon's name in the chat and say thank you, my friend, for helping me out. But no, that is from my understanding, that's a true statement. That really did happen. I don't know about cry breaks as much as like, yeah, she needs a breather every now and then, because I can totally understand it. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, and Kenya just said it. There's an order that says the judge must also inform the defense. Like, why would you be meeting? It's not like you need to inform them after the fact, but this is something that's germane to the case. Again, it's not just a scheduling issue. It's not just hey, we're thinking about going to go get tacos after work. We're not going to talk about case, but do you want to go with us? That's not just it. It's a little bit more complex than that. Why are you not doing that, Glanville? To me, that's again, it's disingenuous to throw Brian Steele and whomever the mole is in the penalty box, but Glanville doesn't have to get put in the penalty box. If Glanville goes to the penalty box, I'm perfectly fine with whatever they do with Steele and her. Again, I will have some free Brian t-shirts on my website. I might need to get them now. Okay, what do we got here? I saw something else. Yeah, see, and even Indecisive Wig Wearer, by the way, a very funny name, says, and Woody, who was a sworn in witness. If you go back and read the document, and I'll just put it right here. If you go read this document that's on my Buy Me a Coffee page, like I said, it's 15 pages long. You can read through it. They say that he's a sworn in witness, and they keep saying it. Sworn in witness. That means you're not supposed to be meeting with him without the defense there. You're not supposed to be doing that. Now, if he had not been sworn in, maybe it'd be something different. Maybe it'd be a little bit different. But he was sworn in. That means that you're not supposed to be meeting with him. That's all it means. Yeah, come on. That's what I'm saying. Like, judge is more wrong because the defendant has the rights in this case, which I don't think people are considering. And when I was on a lead attorney a couple days ago, he explained it like the prosecutor should not be desiring to crush the defense. They should be desiring for justice to come to bear. And I told him, I said, most of us see it as like right versus left, Hatfields versus McCoys, good versus evil. Somebody has to triumph. And that's how we see it, because it doesn't look like, especially when you're looking here at this case, it does seem like they're trying to win, not they want justice to be brought, or they want the right thing to be shared, and that being that justice is wrought. It just seems very discouraging. Okay. Yo, thank you so much, man. Thank you very much right here. Brandenburg says, thank you so much. What's with the rumor about Fonnie and Woody? Oh my gosh, man. Man, that's a good question. All right. So I'm just telling you how I understood it. And somebody else broke it down as well. I'll find the video and maybe I'll drop it up. I'll post it up. Long story short, the rumor is that Fonnie Willis was in a relationship with Big Nut and or had some kind of dealings with Big Nut that were of the intimate sort. As far as I know, this is how I was told. And that being the case, that's why they're coming in so hard on this YSL, because her one-time boyfriend, one-time jump off got murdered by this group allegedly. And so that's why she's going so hard on him. So that being the case, Woody would be an asset to the DA if they wanted to come down and get justice, quote unquote, or whatnot for Big Nut. I'm trying not to laugh as I say some of these names. But so that's why, that's how I was told. I have no idea a way to confirm that. I'm just telling you what I've been told. So that being the case, that's why she's coming so hard and so fast against YSL. I don't want to say fast because they're coming in kind of slow, but that's why they're coming after him. But that's the rumor that I was told. I have no way of confirming it, but that's what I was told. Yo, thank you so much, Measured Man. Measured Man, thank you so much, man. Grace and peace. Thank you so much, man, for coming in. Sorry it's been a minute trying to keep up with all of this. It is so hard. I ain't gonna even lie. It is very difficult, man. But the fact that you can keep up with it at all is, in fact, notable. Dear Will Christian, there are clips of you on our NPO site. Here is our support. God is revealing all. Thank you so much. What's NPO? There's clips of me? What am I doing? Hopefully I ain't doing nothing wrong. But thank you so much, man, for the super chat. Thank you so much, man. I'll make you my new stream sponsor. Absolutely. That is, I have to check that out. But I do want to talk about this Fonnie Willis. So let me drop this, and then we're going to talk about Fonnie real quick. Thank you so much. Y'all, thanks. Measured Men. Put in double MMM in the chat saying thank you so much for sponsoring Dear Woke Christian. Get out of this RICO defense. Because we need it, man. So I have no idea. And I really do want, hopefully you all have seen my live stream I did on Thursday where I was at Turner Chapel here in Marietta, Georgia, and Fonnie Willis was speaking there. And I did the whole live stream. I streamed her speech. I'm using the word speech extremely loosely. And gave some commentary afterwards. And then later on that day, I did a whole live stream about it. And I noticed something while I was there. There was literally a bank of media people. And it was probably 6, maybe even 7 or 8 media outlets. There were lots of cameras. There were lots of microphones on the pulpit, on the rostret, and such like that. But the thing that I found extremely, extremely, extremely interesting is that I don't see the full video anywhere on the interweb. I don't see it anywhere. And dare I say, it's very possible that I might be the only one with the full video that's at least posting it at least. And I'm like, yo, that is crazy. Because I didn't intend for it. I didn't intend for it at all. I just was going there to record it and live stream it. And lo and behold, it seems like I might be the only one that has it. And so y'all are welcome to it. It's on my channel right now. I think I even edited out some of my little commentary and such like that. Y'all are welcome to grab it and post it up. But I was wondering, I was just kind of thinking, why is it that this video is not being shared online? Like the church speech, that one was out there. And you got the full video of the infamous, the first church speech at Big Bethel, or when she did the press conference outside of Big Bethel, that was there. The full Women's Day event, that was there. When she was speaking at the Easter egg hunt, I don't know why I've done a lot of videos on Fonnie and her speaking, but all of those have been displayed as the full videos. But this one right here was not. And I have a theory about why I think it isn't being shared. And I'm going to do that in a second. But first, I want to thank Kenya. Thank you, Kenya, for this very gracious super chat. She says, please don't tell me this possibly payback for Fonnie's ex-thug. I wouldn't doubt it. I have no way of confirming. I'm just telling you what I was told. I will make sure that if I find that video again that explained it, I will share it. But that's what I was told. And again, that's why I don't even bring it up. But a lot of people have mentioned it as well. So I know it's probably got a little bit of legs to it or something. There's something about it. Let me say it like that. And then Brandon Burks. Thank you so much. What does he say? He says, after the OJ trial, when 5 detectives were caught making and planning evidence, 4 were sent to prison and 1 got a plea, 120 were freed. This requires more, in my opinion. I agree. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. And the good insight. I totally forgot how the OJ Simpson aftermath. I kind of forgot about that. You're right. There's a lot of people that got in trouble. And again, if you're right, then just stick to right. The ends don't justify the means. You do not get away with that and say, well, it's okay if I planted evidence. Okay if I lied. It's okay if I did that because the ends justify the means. That's not, no, you don't do that. And I think that that's part of the problem in what we're seeing is that many people feel like, well, the ends justify the means. So therefore, it's okay what I do. No. That's not it. That's not a Christian methodology. That's not a good methodology if, in fact, you are doing something that's righteous or doing something that is good. You can't do that. I hate to say that I got to tell you that, but I feel like we have to tell you that. You can't cheat. You can't cheat and say, oh, well, by cheating, I'm winning. No, you can't do that. Okay, so let me bring this back in. All right. So this is that crazy guy. He's over at Turner Chapel. He's doing a live stream from there. And I was kind of wondering, and thank you to the moderators. If anybody's dropped the link to this, you're welcome to it. I just want to point out a couple things about why I think news outlets are not sharing this video.
In the building.
All right.
Oh, here she is. There she is. So there she is right there.
And let's pray to dear world Christian go ahead and remembers his tripod next time he's doing something. Tripod is right here safe, and I could have had it with me, and I forgot it. So next time, please make sure you have your tripod, Jason. Okay, this is what I think. I want you to go back and actually watch this lecture, the speech, this whatever this thing is called. I want you to go watch it, and just with an objective eye, and don't look at it because you dislike Fonnie. Don't look at it because you don't think she should be speaking in a church. Don't look at it for any of that reason. Just listen to what she's saying. And the reason I want you to do that is because this is a horrible speech. This is, I really truly believe some of those news people were calling back to the front office saying, yo, this thing is stupid. This makes no sense. It was a disjointed mess. And that's what I think actually happened, because they found a clip that they could use, AKA the black women are tired. You talking about you're mispronouncing my name, thinking about my butt, whatever like that. That was useful for what they wanted to do, to call out Rudy Giuliani. That was useful for her. However, this speech made no sense. And I really, truly, we were joking about it in the Discord that we think that Fonnie Willis just kind of cuts and pastes previous messages and puts them into a new message. I truly think that's what she does. I'm sorry. I'm totally convinced that her speechwriter literally just takes one sermon and just like blocks it out and just moves it around, because she says a lot of stuff that I've heard. And again, I admit I've listened to a lot of Fonnie Willis speeches, lectures, whatevers. I've heard a lot of them. And one of the things I notice is you'll notice terminologies that kind of pop up periodically, or mannerisms, or cadences that kind of stand out to you. And there's a lot of that in here. But it's disjointed. It is very similar to if you cut and pasted from different websites and they all had different font, and you brought them all together into your paper or into one document, and all the fonts are different. So you got bolds here, you got some italics here, you got different character fonts and all that kind of stuff, underlines and hyperlinks. It's all disjointed. And let's say you couldn't fix it, right? That's how that speech was. And I really think that's why nobody's hyping this up, because it really was bad. And I'm not saying watch it because I want you to watch the video, which, by the way, is so crazy to me that I'm the only one that has this crazy video. That part right there still stuns me. Because again, they were, wait, hold on. Let me show you this.
Okay. Let's get it on.
Okay. So you just saw there's one camera.
Here, actually.
Okay, and on the roster, you can see all of those. Let me pull a picture in here too. Look at all those microphones right there. There's at least, no joke, there's at least 7 microphones right there, plus the church's microphone. And there's one off the side. So there's 7 people, 7 entities that are recording this speech at the same time. Okay? Where none of them dropped that? None of them dropped that video? No, nobody dropped that video. All they got from that was a 30-second clip about black women being sexualized. And that's all y'all got? That's all you got from the whole thing. Nothing else of value. Nothing about Nehemiah. Nothing about her dad. Nothing about being dragged to the AME church. Nothing like that. None of that was important. Just a little bit about black women being sexualized. Okay. All right. No problem. I wanted you to see like all the cameras in the back again. Okay. Let's see. I wish I could speed it up a little bit.
So when I got here
entitled Profiles.
I was all over the place. Okay.
We're going to speak out against.
All right. So I really want y'all to listen to this.
Bishop Reginald Jackson, who is a mentor for.
Okay, so I really want to encourage you, just go back and listen to this. And again, don't listen to it because you don't like Fonnie Willis. Don't listen to it because you like Fonnie Willis. Don't listen to it because you don't think a woman should be speaking from a pulpit in a church. Don't do it like that. Just listen to it as a observer of maybe an idea. Like, can you follow the logical pattern that this speech is given? Matter of fact, I totally forgot. E. Dewey actually gave us the transcript. I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot. Y'all pray for my mind. I totally forgot. We actually had the transcript for this. I'm going to give it to you. And I want y'all just to check it out. I just want you to tell me if it makes sense to you. And that's all I want you to do. And I really believe that's why you're not seeing this speech being pushed on the various platforms. Now, I do think, as much as it sounds crazy, the church speech was fairly a coherent argument. It was coherent. I could follow where you were going. I disagree with where you were going. I disagreed how you got there, but I can follow where you were going. And so therefore, I think it was okay. At least it was a chain of thought that can be followed. 1 followed 2, follows 3, follows 4. Okay, we can understand that. However, this one, of course, doesn't have that same value. And I am going to put this, and I would love for y'all to just peep it out. I would love, and I don't want to be right. I want you to just listen to it or now read it. I forgot I got the transcript. I want you to just read it, and I want you to just, maybe next time we get together, we'll just talk about it and just say, do you understand? Did you understand that? Was it understandable? Okay, I'm going to drop it in my Buy Me a Coffee. So in a minute, you'll be able to just snag it, of course, for free. And I just want to hear what you think. So I think that's what happened. The news outlets came, and they've been used to fairly coherent Fonnie Willis speeches for the most part. I mean, again, you like her or not, you have to give her credit. Her speeches are coherent thoughts that are a train of thought that you can follow, whether you like it or not. However, I think this one right here was something happened. I don't know if she got a different speechwriter. I don't know if the Chat GPT was on drugs. I don't know what happened, but it definitely was different. And therein is I think, oh my gosh, what in the world is wrong with her? What doth thou want? Why art thou harassing me? Why? What have I done to you? You almost
You're
came.
wearing a new hat.
Yeah, it is my Father's Day hat.
Yeah.
Why are you harassing me?
Why not? You like my braids?
Your braids are fantastic. But you're a fantastic child.
I'm gonna go get the big suitcase.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna put Taylor in the suitcase.
You're gonna put Taylor in the suitcase.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually need you not to put your sister in the suitcase. That's gonna be weird.
I'm gonna do it.
I need that.
A smiley face in the chat if you think I should put my sister in a suitcase.
Nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's putting a smiley face in chat for you to put your sister in a suitcase. What's wrong with you? Y'all are gonna be fighting the whole week. You're like, why did I let you stay? You should go back home. That's what you're gonna be doing the whole week.
What whole week?
What if you put your sister in the suitcase and took her with you?
Oh, I don't want to bring her with me.
Oh, you're gonna put her in a suitcase and leave her here?
Yeah.
Please go away. Why
No.
art thou here? Let me see. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see what they're saying while I'm sending it. See, nobody's in agreement with this craziness that you're talking about. See, these people are wise. They're not following this crazy shenanigans of a high schooler. Why are you? Please stop. Why?
It's in fact my job. Oh my gosh, see?
What?
Till you drop agrees.
No, Klopp is just laughing at the fact that
You don't see
something.
that smiley face?
I don't. That smiley face is not. Oh, you.
Put the smiley face under it, King. King, what is going on?
Oh, you did say put a smiley face. I'm sorry. No, nobody's doing this. No, Trina, you're crazy. Don't put your sister.
I'm gonna go get the...
Goodbye.
I love you.
I love you too, Bird. Goodbye. Why are y'all supporting this stuff? Y'all are contributing to the delinquent minor that's being more delinquent. And she's out there yelling about, I'm not a delinquent. Why are y'all contributing to this stuff, y'all? Come on. Y'all are better than this. Hold on, let me see. All right, so shout out to E. Dewey, who took the Fonnie Willis video and transcribed it and also gave a summary. So all of those are on the page, and here it is right now. All right. Thank you so much. Bang. All right, got that in there for you. And by the way, I appreciate, let me give a little shout out to Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke coming in again with the super chat. Thank you so much. The hand signals behind the judge and the state. I saw that too, and it was weird. I'm hoping for light to be shed on that. If you're not familiar, there was some, it was some weird hand movement that definitely gave off some baseball vibes, like baseball manager vibes. It was weird. I don't know emphatically, and I can't say, I try not to just jump on somebody for that, but it was there. It was present for sure. And what is, again, measured man. Thank you so much. If my lawyer, Hope would never need one, but would be my son, can't say they want to share a cell with me so they keep me focused on the case, then you can't be my lawyer. His wife and daughter came through though. IG is fire. Agree. Like, if you're not familiar, Brian Steele, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all go check out Measured Men and give him some support. Let him know that we appreciate him supporting the channel, supporting Dear Will Christian, hooking me up with the RICO Defense Fund. Absolutely. But if you're not familiar, when Judge Glanville arrested Brian Steele asked could he be put in the same cell with Jeffery Williams, aka Young Thug, so they could be working on the case during the week. That was crazy. That was crazy. Like, yo, he said, I'm about to go to jail. We're going to still be doing work to get you out of here. We're going to work over the weekend. That was crazy. And again, he's like, yeah, I'll go to jail. Sure. Just put me in there with my client. Put me in there with my client so we can do some work. I thought that was boss right there. He was ready to go. But I think the only thing that was more boss than that though was when Ashley Merchant walked in. That thing, I lost my mind. I ain't gonna even lie. When he said Ashley Merchant was representing him from Gackel, and she came in, that thing changed the whole game. You know it did. Come on, man. What is Brian Burke's Brendan Burke say. Thank you again, sir. Thank you so much. The hand signals, the secret illegal ex parte meetings, threatening people for exposing the crime, open corruption, and this is a serious ongoing problem. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, the fact that you're having, and again, I'm a pre-K law student. I know nothing, right? I don't know a thing. Knowing that a judge should not be meeting with one side of the case without the other side, that seems to be perfectly logical. Perfectly logical. And even if, watch this, even if they do meet about something that's nonsensical, like a scheduling issue, or make sure their calendar's okay, they're required to let the other side know immediately. So the fact that Judge Glanville did not do that is really problematic. And again, I wonder how often he's been doing this. So thank you very much, Mr. Burks. Thank you so much for that, man. Very kind for supporting the channel. I don't know how long this has been going on, but I really do wonder. I don't wonder. I think it's been going on much longer, and maybe the substitute was like, yo, this is some craziness going on in here, right? Like, going back to my teaching days, whenever you needed a sub, you knew, especially if you didn't know who the sub was going to be, so you weren't able to request a particular sub, so you just kind of put it in the system and crossing your fingers and praying for everything to go well. The better your outline, the better of your lesson plan, the more work you put out and have broken down literally hour upon hour upon hour of the day, the better you're going to be tomorrow, the happier you'll be when you come back tomorrow, and the easier it'll be for your sub. So, because you don't know, the sub might go up there to the front office and say, man, Mr. Whitaker's class is totally insane. I ain't never coming back. Now, I've heard subs say that about teachers. They never said that about your boy. I did make sure I had my stuff together. But you don't want a sub to go up to the front office and say, man, Mr. Whitaker's class is crazy. Miss Bumblebee, she ain't even leave no lesson plans. Or this is even worse. Oh my gosh, this is even worse. When you're supposed to turn in your lesson plans on Friday for the week previous, right? Wait, the week coming up. And so let's say you didn't do that. Okay, you didn't turn in your lesson plans. And then you got a sub come in because you had like an emergency meeting that you had to go to, and they brought a sub in there. And the sub's like, oh, I'll just get your lesson plans from the office. I ain't do no lesson plans. Like, you don't want to create problems that you might be flying by the seat of your pants all the rest of the time. But when you know that you need a sub, you got some serious sub lesson plans ready. Okay. We would always have like a spare lesson plan in our email. It could be used any time of the year. It was always something that was pertinent to the class. All of the worksheets, any kind of handouts, everything was ready. So if I got called to a meeting and I didn't have time to get everything ready, I would email or I would send it to my coworkers or my grade level chair and say, hey, I got to go downtown, or hey, I'm getting called into a meeting. They're sending me a sub. Can you make sure that the sub has this? And then they would print that off and say, here's Mr. Whitaker's lesson plans. He always keeps them in my room. Saved. You don't want to create more problems. And to me, Glanville is creating more problems. But y'all, I really appreciate y'all checking out this Fonnie Willis speech. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And what did you think about it? So on and so forth. Is there something that you missed? Is there something I missed out of it? Whatnot like that. I did leave the transcript. I just dropped the link down in the chat. I would love for you to check it out and give me your 2 cents on it. Let me jump back down here. The chat has gotten out of control. I'm sorry. I did not want to miss Shamika's in the building. Thank you so much, Shamika. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. And I see lots of good folk that I might have missed. I apologize if I missed you. Y'all know it's love. Pantene stopped the show. Yes, she did. Ashley Merchant, affectionately known as Pantene by the lead attorney. She stopped the show for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing if you all agree that maybe the reason why Fonnie Willis's speech is not being promoted on the various news outlets is because it was actually horrible. It was really bad. Yeah, Shamika, we saw that. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I saw it. I'm just like, I don't know what it was, but I saw it, and it looked bad. You're right. It looked horrible. I'm not trying to make any light of that. I just want, hopefully, whether it be the Supreme Court or somebody to step in and get some adults in here. Apex says Ashley Merchant's entrance was classic. I'm telling you, it was wild. That was wild. I got that video too. Maybe we'll do that real quick. Because y'all want to talk about this case. Y'all don't even want to talk about Fonnie. Y'all don't care nothing about Fonnie. I appreciate it though. Man, how y'all over here? Man, don't. Man, don't. Hey, let me tell you right here, man. As I tell everybody before, man, y'all are welcome to it. I appreciate it. Measured Men, I appreciate it. The YSL Barbie. I mean, please understand, there have been at least 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4 legal professionals that have been arrested from here. I know we got Brian Steele. There was a young lady who called, I think she was involved in it. She called one of the defendants and told them that they were, the police were on their way to come get her and to hide the gun. And she got arrested. There was another attorney, I want to say he was either live streaming or something from in the courtroom. And then there was a possible, I think it was like a bailiff or whatnot, that was passing drugs in the doggone courtroom. It's craziness. I got to find that list. There's a list of everybody that's been, all the crazy shenanigans that have happened in this case so far. And again, remember, we're not even halfway through. Maybe not even 30% through this case yet. All right, let's see what we see. All right, so Apex said her speech was bad and predictable. I agree, but I just want to know, like, is that why do you think the mainstream media realize that it's bad? And this is something else. I'm sending a shout out to Courtney Kramer. I really want Courtney Kramer to hop on this. Why is it that Fonnie Willis seems to only be able to find an audience in a church now? She doesn't do, she's doing like controlled, if you will, commentary. Again, the National Women's Day, this news outlet, a press conference, but you're not doing anything where you're actually taking questions and getting pushback or in open forum. Like do a town hall meeting at the jail. Do the town hall meeting about how great you are at the jail. That would be amazing. All right, let's see. All right, so Measured Men says it was bad for her, but good for those of us trying to let people know she is corrupt. Absolutely. And I hope more people will actually pay attention to it. And maybe that's it. Maybe they realize like, yo, this is terrible. This was a dumpster fire of a speech and it didn't look good. So therefore we're not going to post it, but we're going to post out this little snippet where she talked about Rudy Giuliani, which by the way, Rudy Giuliani was kind of out of pocket. Okay. I am not a big fan of disparaging women. I have 3 of them in my house. Even though I disagree with Fonnie on a lot of stuff, I try not to disparage her as a woman. But I do think that everything else is open field, especially with the way that she handles herself and her professionalism. But Rudy was a little bit wild. It wasn't the worst thing I've heard said about Fonnie, but it was a little bit out of pocket, in my opinion. This is an interesting point right here that Apex says, I think Fonnie's usefulness to the left has expired. I agree. I really do think so. And I might have said this out loud in another stream, but I definitely agree that I do think she had a usefulness, a utility to the left at the beginning, and now it has kind of run its course. So I totally agree with you. Wow, minimum says it like this. She's a risk now. I want to know a little bit more about that. What do you mean by she's a risk? I think she's definitely a problem. She's definitely not good for Fulton County. And I'm only saying that because if the DA's role, position, and job is to prosecute crimes in Fulton County, I don't think she's there to do that. I think she's there for a paycheck. I think she's there for notoriety and so forth. But what do you mean by that? Minimum lawledge? I think I got what you said, minimum lawledge. I like that. I would love to know. And if you did say it, I'll definitely check it out. Oh, thank you so much. I think Fonnie may be being punished for fumbling the Trump case. I don't think so. I really believe Fonnie Willis was selected because she had so much baggage in her closet. She had skeletons in her closet. And when she was selected for this case to try Trump, they knew that she had baggage in her closet. And that is what they knew that the case didn't have legs. They knew the case wasn't going to go anywhere. But they threw her in there because of her arrogance and pride. She's going to bring down Trump. I'm a black woman. I got a 97.9% conviction rate. If you do a crime in my district, you're going to pay for it. Nobody's above the law, all that kind of foolishness. She was going to keep doing that. And so this would be a great way, because please understand, most of the people that have been coming against Trump, they've been useful idiots of the highly melanated flavor. Letitia James, Bragg, Fonnie Willis. I mean, why do they all happen to be brown? Isn't that not peculiar to you all? And of course, Trump is white. Like no bona fide white people would have taken this case on. Oh, okay, I got you. Just wondering, just something to point out. But they knew that. They knew that was going to be a shield. Like her being the first black woman DA in Fulton County, then therein is her shield. But they knew that she also had baggage that was going to come back and hobble her later on. It's kind of like a fighter that's never gone into the 10th round. Well, they know that, hey, you can fight up to the 8th round, but you're going to be struggling in the 9th. And once we get you into the 10th, it's a wrap. But all we need you to do is sell tickets and commercials up to the 7th round anyway. So we get commercials up to the 8th round, we don't care. And you can get knocked clean out in the 10th round, I don't care. We just wanted to sell these tickets, that's all. That's it. We have bets up to this point, and then everything else is just gravy. That's how I see it, personally. So that being the case, I don't think she's being punished. I think she's no longer being protected. She's no longer being propped up. In my opinion. Yeah, Rudy was out of pocket. He was out of control. And I don't think it's not necessary. And it's a little bit juvenile because you take the onus, you take the pressure off of what's important. Like I gave an example many streams ago talking about fighters. If a fighter is talking about their training camp, their nutrition, their conditioning, their mental state, and how they're going to crush their opponent in the combat sport of mixed martial arts when they get into the ring, you know it's going to probably be a really good fight. And if both of them are talking about their conditioning, both of them are talking about their nutrition and their coaching and so on and so forth, and how they're working on their strengths and how they're studying the other person, it's going to be a banger. You know it. You just know it's going to be great. You know it's going to be a great fight. But if you got fighters that are talking about each other's moms and dads, calling their kids ugly, talking about their wives or girlfriends, you're like, what is this, man? Was this Jerry Springer? You lose hope that the fight is going to be good. And in my opinion, Rudy Giuliani was not fighting at the high level. Like bring in the who cares? Who cares about her name? It is kind of stupid. I think it's stupid for him to mention it. I think it's stupid for her to be upset about it. Just my 2 cents. Oh, this is a sad state of affairs, Costa Chameleon. I hope that they see this. And I hope they change it, turn it around. But Costa Chameleon says Courtney Kramer isn't doing anything in the Fulton County DA race. It pretty much seems she doesn't want it enough to actually fight for it. I don't see anything. I would love to see something different. Now, I do understand most men and women, when they're running for offices, they do in fact have other jobs, other roles. So I'm not mad about that by any means. If you got another job and you're trying to take care of that, you got to do that. You got to keep bread on your table. However, this one right here just seems like it's a low hanging fruit. Like literally, Fonnie Willis is serving it up. Like, Courtney, just take this speech from Turner Chapel and slice it apart, rip it apart. I will send it to you, and you can have it and just decimate it, because there's so much good content in here. The race pushback, the race conversation is getting ridiculous, and people are starting to push back on it. Like, it's no longer beneficial. Nobody's seeing the utility in this constant drumbeat of race this, black that, black women. It's getting dumb. It's starting to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, and people are getting tired of it. Push back on that. Fight it. That's all you gotta do. She was in Atlanta this week, Terry. I don't know what she was talking about, but she's supposed to be talking about economics. I'm sorry, I do know what she was talking about, but she was in town, and it is what it is. Now, this is a good point. Jean Lee says, if you don't want disagreement, then you don't. And that's probably why she doesn't do. So my point is, if that be the case, then show her up in that weakness. If that's a weakness that Fonnie Willis has, that she's not able to take pushback and take counter thoughts and such of that nature. Because again, Courtney Kramer is coming in as a newbie. So people they don't have a large track record. They don't have a large catalog of things that you've said and done that they can push back on. So now it's really like, well, who are you? Tell us about you. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, tell me who you are. Oh, I don't know if you're able to turn water to wine. I don't know if you're able to really do what you say you're going to do. It sounds like a miracle. Then that's fine. But it's not like you failed at it already, or you're failed in your efforts and whatnot. I think Courtney's in a great position. And I agree with Dan right here. It says, can Courtney do a better job or be given a chance than Miss Fonnie Willis? My take is anything is better deal as this isn't working. I agree 100%. She has to make that case though. This is the thing. If lots of people please keep in mind, when they step in that booth, they're going to see Fonnie Willis incumbent. They're going to see Courtney Kramer challenger. And they're going to be like, who do I know? What name is familiar? Even if the person isn't working, who do I know? I'm going to click on the incumbent. So that's the only thing she's got to fight against, that term incumbent. Whereas, like, in my opinion, Joe Biden is doing a fantastic job of proving why an incumbent why he doesn't need to be elected president again. And so Trump has a much bigger, he has more momentum when people get in that box, because they know we've already had 4 years of Joe. We've already had 4 years of $5 a gallon gas. I'm done with that. We need somebody who's going to I'm tired of what's going on the border. I'm tired of this. And so they already know. So Trump, and they've seen what Trump did previous. So there is a difference there. There's a difference there. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see what minimum knowledge says. She was meant to do a job for them, and she messed it up. She's become a risk to the final chapter, and raising her voice as a victim isn't showing her as a strong woman she claims to be and was. You know what? I can rock with that. I can give you that. I can give you that. Yeah. I can get down with that. Absolutely. Now, this would be my only point, though. Courtney Kramer would need to capitalize on what you just said, minimum knowledge. And anybody that's trying to beat somebody that's clearly defeatable. So if you like, this would be a great point for Courtney Kramer to highlight, like, look, you're screaming victim, but you are the chief law enforcement officer of the state of Georgia. Like, please tell me what would be a different position that you would rather have, and just drag her into those championship rounds that she's never been in. And I think if Courtney Kramer or somebody that's running against an incumbent like that is willing to get into, and you don't have to get into the muck. You don't have to even get into the whole Nathan Wade thing. Please understand, Nathan Wade thing is to me, that was the spark that lit the fire. But all of the kindling, all of the dried, dead bushes was all of the work that Fonnie Willis has not done. All of the lies, all of the mishandlings, all of the poor unprofessionalisms. That's what Nathan Wade, that was a spark that lit all that on fire. So the bonfire that is Fonnie Willis dumpster fire right now is not Nathan Wade. That's just, in my opinion, that's a secondary issue. Might even be a third-dairy issue. What's really an issue is the fact that you've left Fulton County unprotected. And come on, like, look at the YSL case. What is YSL? It's a gang. What did Fonnie Willis not do? Gang prevention. Like, you can marry those two together. Courtney, you could put those two together in such a beautiful package that, look at the YSL case. Look at how they handled these gangs in the city of Atlanta. Why did they not put an effort to stop this at the root? Come on. That could just be a banger right there. All you gotta do is just push on it. And then watch this. Fonnie Willis is gonna have to respond. She's gonna have to say something. She's gonna say, oh, no, we fought gangs. How? Show us where you fought gangs. The Youth Gang Prevention Center is not there. We got Amanda Timpson saying that you done chained up the building. You stopped. Nothing's happened since you've been in office. We got facts on that. And we got the YSL case proving that gangs have been running amok. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. That's it. Because Apex says that, dear woke Christian, the left is using our racism against white people to do their dirty work. And we have to admit that we don't want to, I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to look at somebody with less melanin and immediately call them some kind of racial slur because they have less melanin. That's not the game. I'm not playing that game. I refuse to play the game. That's why I'm dear woke Christian. You can go kick rocks. I don't agree, dear woke Christian, because she is a female. Okay. I don't, and I'm sorry, Jean Lee, if I missed something. Tell me what it is so I can catch up. But I'm perfectly fine. They see her as a weak link now. That's fine. I'm not saying that they emphatically don't. I think that she came in as a weak link, but she was useful for a time. Dan, I see you wild. You wild, Dan. Oh, she does do it by herself. No, but I think sometimes people need to know that, this is a bad look. Like sometimes, for example, if you have teenagers and they like to tell you how to dress and you think you're dressing fine, but they might tell you that your dress is not keen for the day. And you might go look in the mirror and you look at it and say, you know what? This is an old shirt or this is an old top. And why am I wearing this? This isn't a good look. And maybe you might, again, you don't have to dress like a teeny bopper, but you might say, yeah, that this outfit is kind of dated. But you needed somebody else to say it because otherwise you'd have just been enjoying life, right? And that's what I think needs to happen. I think the people of Fulton County need to be told and shown that there is a better way. And again, like if she just took that YSL case, I think there's a lot of meat on that bone. If she just took that YSL case and just ran it and really pointed out like this is what's happening when you don't deal with gangs in your city. Rudy has lost a lot due to his association with Trump. He has lost his law license in New York, and now finally is trying to put him in jail for simply doing his job. He was wrong, but I understand. Yeah. What do we got here? Dan says, regarding the primary and Democratic election, the other person is out. That was Christian Y. Smith. Now for the general election, it is a Republican versus Democrat. Fannie loss of her bar license, temp or otherwise. She is out. Rep is left. I just don't think they'll do it. I just don't think that the state has the, again, I have no idea why a disbarment takes so long. I have no idea. I mean, somebody filed the articles of disbar Fonnie Willis immediately after the whole disqualification hearing. So right after, after Judge McAfee made his ruling. So, but I don't know what it takes to, like how long it takes for a disbarment or anything. And please understand, disbarment, you'll only know about it if they are disbarred. But if they get a sanction, if they get their license suspended, I think they don't have to report that. So, but they have to report when somebody's been disbarred. I think, I might be wrong, but they don't have to, like, for example, if Fonnie gets a fine, let's say Fonnie gets a $10,000 fine for the disqualification hearing. You'll never know about that. You'll never know about it, but she'll keep her license. So it is kind of different. I hear you, Courtney. Courtney. I hear you, Kenny. Kenny says, I'm highly disappointed in the Republican Party for putting up such an inexperienced candidate as Courtney. Sigh. Well, hopefully she'll step up and you'll see something good from her and at least give you a little bit of encouragement for sure. All right, what we got here? See, and this is part of that. This is part of the problem with this case. His servant Rudy is mad. I heard that they bankrupted him. Not sure if that is true. Personally, I think that's part of the game with this RICO type of situation is to bankrupt you. Like, who's able? Do you think these guys really have the financial backing to be able to have lawyers there for 92 days? That's a lot. That's a lot of time. Effectively a year and a half worth of lawfare. Do you think they really have that money just sitting around on the bank ready to go? That's crazy. There we go. Kenya said, if Courtney talked about numbers and backlog, she'd gain so much ground. I agree, 100%. What's going on, Discernment Files? Thank you so much for stopping by. Grace and peace. The ability for a Republican candidate to win in Fulton County is the reason why they don't run. Don't let Courtney take the arrows. I think, and I totally get you. But my point has always been this. Any candidate can win at any time. Going back to my really bad mixed martial arts examples. Sure, we might be in your home country of Brazil. Sure, you might be the 3, 4, 7-time defending champion. But any day that champion can lose. Now, the problem is he's not going to lose to a broomstick. He's not going to lose to an inexperienced fighter. But let's just say a fighter who's been around a while. So let's do heavyweight. So he's a heavyweight champion, and he's 7-time defending, but he's fighting against somebody who's defended before himself, or he's fighting against somebody who's got a pretty lengthy record and maybe has beat some people that I struggled with. It's very possible. I mean, what we're trying to help Courtney Kramer and those people see is that you can be beaten. It all is a matter of proper preparation. That's it. And if you really zero in and really hone in on the strengths of your opponent and remove those strengths from them. Fonnie Willis, she gives you her strengths every time. She's a black woman. She's a racist. That's it. I mean, that's it. We could talk about numbers. We could talk about incumbency. But really, at the end of the day, she's a black woman racist. That's it. And in my opinion, if you just take those away from off the table, both of y'all are women. What does race have to do with anything? You deal with her. Let her rant about being a racist. Let her do that. It only shows how unhinged she is. And in the process, you keep showing people that there is a better way. That's it. I don't think it needs to be much more complex and more complicated rather than that. So I do think that she can now. Sure, she could use some more help. Sure, she could use some more support from the GOP. She could use some more boots on the ground. I've already admitted, I've said, if they want to reach out to me, I will gladly help them out for a small nominal fee. Podium Studios will help them out with their campaign content, absolutely, and give them ideas. We'll do it, but it's possible. It's possible, and I'm not even saying it's a long shot. If you really get into the hearts and minds and you're really campaigning, letting them know and hear your voice and hear your ideas and say, yo, you have some great ideas. You really want what's good for this community. Because please keep in mind, as much as people like to say that Fulton County is primarily black, and there is a level of truth to that, there's a lot of other ethnic groups in there. So it's not just black people that are the only ones that are concerned about Fulton County. Not by a long shot. So there's Hispanics and whites and Asians and other people groups that are equally concerned about what's called Fulton County. So if all you're focusing on is black people, you're limiting, dare I say, a very large population, and you're isolating a very large population of Fulton County. Then just take advantage of that. Let her stick with that. Let her run with that. Let her have that. But don't let her get away with it. Not without a fight. No, give her a fight. Push her into championship rounds. If you watch mixed martial arts, regular fight is 3 rounds, and championship rounds is 5. Most fighters who transition from a contender to an actual challenger very rarely have gone into 5-round fights. So during their training, they have to fight 5-round fights in sparring, because they've never been here before. It's a different game. You might only have a tank and only have energy and gas for 3 rounds. Well, sir, now you're going into 4 and 5. And in order to win, if you don't knock your opponent out in the second round, sir, you might very well be going into championship rounds. I do think she thinks this. I do think that she thinks this, Dan, that any press helps her. I do think that use that against her. If that's a strength, that you recognize, that you just see that any press is good press, then just use it against her. Use it against her. Maybe Courtney should ask, hey, why is the media not playing Fonnie Willis's video from Turner Chapel on July 13th or whatever date it was? Yeah, June 13th. Why are they not playing that? And just ask the question and put it out there. And I give you mine. You can have my copy and just play it. Say what? Maybe it's because she said this, or maybe because she said this, and just put it in her face and let her rave and rant. But in the process, you're working on letting the people know that you have a better plan for Fulton County. Day 1, I am going to run a full audit on the DA's office. Day 1. That right there that's going to knock people's socks off. If you promised and you actually deliver on day 1, once you become DA, that you're going to audit the DA's office and give everybody a snapshot of what's going on, an independent audit from a third-party auditing entity. If you do that, that's knocking people's socks off. I mean, sure, you still got to fight. Sure, you're going to still have to take arrows. But my goodness, in the morning, she said she's going to audit the DA's office. So all these shenanigans we've seen, all this wondering where the money's gone, where the money's coming from, where the money's not been, she's going to call it out. She's going to let us know. Can you imagine that? That's all I'm saying. Oh, man. I mean, I hate it. I don't know why. I would like to know why you're saying that, but I got you. Okay, here we go. Fonnie Willis has a large war chest. Act Blue is funding her. Funding directly outside of Atlanta and Georgia is 25%. Some of Atlanta money is from foreign sources, much like the Act Blue money. Okay? And that's fine. It costs absolutely $0. It costed me $0 to go to Turner Chapel on Thursday and live stream that sermon. It cost me $0 to do that. It costs Courtney Kramer $0 to turn her phone on outside of Fulton County Jail and just talk about what's going on in the jail. It costs no money to do that. Now, granted, sure, you're fighting against but most people get their information from social media. So make your place. They're going to be on YouTube. They're going to be on TikTok. They're going to be on Twitter. Just make that, since they're already getting their news there and they're getting these microbites. If you've noticed, a lot of your news sources are putting segments of their larger newscasts. Let's say the larger newscast is 1 hour, but they're putting a 2-hour drug bust. They're putting the 2-minute drug bust, the 4-minute apartment fire on the north side. They're putting the 3-minute fire department saves a cat out of a tree. You know why they're doing that? Because people are getting their news primarily on social now. So Courtney Kramer would be smart. They're already there. You have a captive audience because they're already on the YouTube. They're already going here. Sure, they still got countless dollars. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally get that. But it doesn't cost you anything to turn your phone on and just do a live stream, talk and answer questions. You can do that right now. I mean, for crying out loud, that's what I'm doing. I think minimal knowledge is right here. Fonnie is promoting herself and not Atlanta. Courtney Kramer needs to focus on that and use it to bring Atlanta back to the center stage. There you go. Take the focus off of me. It's not going to be about me. It's going to be about Atlanta. It's going to be about you, Fulton County. You are on display, Fulton County, in this YSL case. You, Fulton County, are on display when they say Fulton County Jail is full. You are on display. So what can we do about that? Because we know Fonnie's going to talk about her. We already know that. Because she's showing the world, can't say that she's supporting and propping up ADA Love and ADA Hilton. Because we see what they're doing. So she can't say she's over there working for them. What's she doing? I just think there's more there. All right, let's see what we got here, good people. Oh, there we go. So I don't, and Dan just says the position of district attorney requires a bar license and good standing. So if she got hit with a bar license sanction or something of that nature, let's say she was not in good standing, that would be seen as, I could just see the talking heads turning that into a political move. And God have mercy on all of us if the person that took away her law license was of the less melanated flavor. It would just be a dumpster fire. But I see what you're saying. I do agree with you. I'm not disagreeing at all. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they have the stomach for it. I don't think they have the stomach for it. Yeah, lawfare is just meant to burn money. It is. All right, what we got here? Candidate inability to win or not is the political machine. It also involves the voter base. There we go. And I think there are enough people. If we could do a real true survey of Fulton County, I believe there's enough people I believe there's enough people that could be mobilized and dare I say galvanized if you give them something to galvanize around. Yeah, there we go. I think we're on the same page, Dan. You can't win a door-to-door election in the space of Fulton County. You win by messaging and what is shown in the media engine. Now, the thing is, we are in a decentralized situation where you can become part of the media engine. You're not just waiting for 11 Alive or Atlanta News First to promote you. You can promote yourself. And that's the only thing I'm trying to add to it. I agree with everything you said, Dan, at this point. I'm just saying that you can, you can be a part of the media engine. You are a part of the media engine. I'm a part of the media engine, for crying out loud. Like right now, I'm a part of the media engine. And Dan, you're a part of it as well. So we can do this on our own. So we don't have to wait primarily for the mainstream media to approve and say, oh, we'll come to your press conference. Make your own press conference. You can live stream that thing yourself. And if it doesn't work, do it again. If it doesn't work, then try more until it does actually sink in. But I think waiting for something, catching lightning in a bottle, to me is not a good look. You go out there, you just got to create, sometimes you got to go out there and create your own miracle, in my opinion. I appreciate it, y'all. Thank you so much. This is some great conversation. I appreciate it. It looks like we got at one point we had almost 120 of you all watching. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your insight. Thank you so much for checking out what we're doing here. This is Dear World Christian, of course, and I like to talk about social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective. And tonight we were looking at the YSL case, kind of giving a high view breakdown of it, as well as a little bit about that Fonnie Willis case, of what Fonnie Willis speaking at Turner Chapel this past week. So we're just kind of discussing that, getting a little bit of lay of the land, what people think about. And Fonnie Willis is vulnerable. I agree. Now, I do think she's not vulnerable to somebody who's not willing to punch outside their weight class. But when you realize that your punches, you can have very strategic punches and there's very strategic weak places, and you punch in those places, the sky's the limit. All right. Dope conversation. So, measurements. Can someone direct us to the clips? They sexualized Fonnie Pack because we lost. So it was Rudy Giuliani, and if a moderator can find it, it was a Rudy Giuliani called her a 304, a garden tool. And he was in a church, which again, I've already gone ad nauseum about politics in church. So I think everybody knows where I stand on that. He was already 50 shades of wrong for being there in a church. He was wrong for calling her, he was playing with her name and then called her a 304. If a moderator could find it, I'm not going to play it because I don't want YouTube to act like they haven't seen that before. But needless to say, all I want to say is he was out of pocket. It wasn't the best look, but it wasn't the worst thing I've heard. I've heard way worse things about her as well as about people on the right. So they haven't had much pillow talk because Jamal doing a protest that only further show her incompetence. Okay, I see you. All right, what we got here? Let's see. And by the way, Measurement, can you make sure you drop your link in the chat so I can make sure we check out what you're doing over there? I know we have it, but I just want to make sure it's in there as well. Is that Mandy Reacts is in the building? Good to see you. Hi, Miss Mandy Reacts. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by on this evening. This one right here is going to get me. Mr. Brandon Burke says, I cannot believe all these churches are allowing their pulpits to be used like this. This is insane. What is the matter with this, with Fulton County? Now, it's not just Fulton County. It's a systemic problem. Because remember, Fonnie was up here in Cobb County, and Cobb County is way far. Where I live is way far from Fulton County. It's a compromise problem. where you see church as supposed to be, and this is a holdover from the civil rights movement, when they saw churches as gathering places for political action. And you hear it all the time when you hear about various marches. Where did they meet for marches? Where did they meet before they started the march? Oh, they met at XYZ Baptist Church. They met at XYZ Church. And then they gathered there, they got their marching orders, and then they started their protest, the march, whatnot like that. And but part of the problem is that this is a holdover mindset from that day and age when churches were used as storefronts or fronts for political social action. Thanks, MLK. I tell people all the time, I think MLK did the worst thing by removing the pressure off of churches to support the community around them and focus all of the attention on the state. So, and I think that's it. So I don't think it's not a Fulton County thing at all, because I mean, we're in Cobb County. It is a problem with church in general. But I mean, I could promise you right now, I could talk for 3 days on that. And matter of fact, I had Pastor Hellegard on my members only my members only live stream last Tuesday. We were talking about that. So I'll be sharing that with you all as well. And this is a good point right here. Measured Men is saying, to be honest with you, if you look at Kamala and now what Fani's doing, what Fani's team is doing to the Young Thug, black men can flip Fulton election. And this is the fuel to do it. So just saying, if anyone's listening, I would put Courtney Kramer, pay attention to that. Pay attention to what, right down here, clip this and put this on your refrigerator, Courtney. I'm just saying. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. All right, what we got here? Lots of good back and forth. Y'all love that y'all are talking back and forth. Yeah, the separation of church and state, it only applies when it's right-leaning. People only get upset when Trump is at a church or Giuliani's at a church. They do not seem to care that literally 7 news outlets were filming Fani Willis give her speech at Turner Chapel. They don't even seem to care. Uh-oh. I don't know. So Dan has linked to Rudy provided. Okay, I'm not going to play it because where is it though? Yeah, see, yeah. That shouldn't be at a church. In my opinion, that's not something to be at a church. Now, a church can sponsor it, and maybe a church might want to help secure the venue, like the local sports arena, or whatever like that. But being in a church, I think, is bad business. It does not help itself at all. All right. Looks like some good commentary back and forth. Did you drop your link? Measured Men. Let me see. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah. Transplanted Texan dropped that link of Rudy being misbehaving over there. Bless his heart. Y'all pray for Rudy Giuliani. All right, let me see real quick. All right, so we got Measurement in the building. Checking y'all out. I'm checking out your channel real quick and make sure we subscribe to it and drop your link in here just in case it wasn't already dropped. Let's go right there. Yeah, check out those brothers right there. They're definitely a stream sponsor, so we got to go check them out. Give them a little shout out. Tell them we said, what's happening? What's happening? All right, what we got here? Looks like some good conversation. Lots of good family reunion stuff going on back and forth. Always love that. Looks like good stuff. So, okay, so we're looking here at, all right, so there's more dances. There are more women than men in Fulton County. Demographics show all of the race, female versus men, and political party representation. Okay. Though, again, I'm not saying that men couldn't flip it, but I think men could help be a catalyst for it. But at the end of the day, I think no matter what, I don't think we would, watch this, Dan. Let's just say Courtney Kramer came out with, guns a-blazing right after that primary. And all she was doing was just hammering. I don't think we would be today arguing about, which is almost a month later. Was that election May 16th, I think? So almost a month later. I don't think we would be really having this discussion if the other team had come out really just giving Fonnie that work. Body blows, jabs, uppercuts, stiff. I mean, if we were like, man, that was a great round. That was a great month of campaigning. I don't think we would even care about this argument, because we would say, yo, like at any point she can just go and put his heads to bed. At any point she could finish this thing. At the moment, we haven't seen that. That's all. That is all. Thank you so much, Transplanted Texan. I appreciate my moderators. Thank you all for that. I got you. Carol said, I'm sorry, reading what Carol said. Carol said, my church used to give out voter guides that told which persons were for abortion and pro Second Amendment. I think it's, Second Amendment. And someone raised a fuss about that and threatened the tax exemption. That's sad. That's unfortunate. But they could still put it on the website, though. That's all. So I agree. Can you? I mean, just read that sentence. So what are we reading, dear Will Christian? Measured Men said she admitted herself that black men are needed because they did not vote in the last election, and now it's up in the air. So imagine if, again, Courtney, I'm not saying that you need to follow exactly what I'm doing, but just follow. Imagine taking the audio clip of Fonnie Willis saying she needs black men, and then just give a video montage of all the black men that are disenfranchised, maybe in Fulton County Jail, or the Young Thug case, or just in Fulton County in general. Do a man on the street talking to people in general. And she says that she needs them to vote for her. For what? Well, like, why should they vote for you? And just challenge her like that. I think that would be amazing. I'm just saying, like, there's so many ways, and that doesn't cost anything. Again, sure, Fonnie Willis has a much bigger, deeper pockets. Sure. But that doesn't mean that I believe Biden has deeper pockets than Trump does. I do believe that. I think they sit on it and just don't want you to know about it. But I think Biden has deeper pockets than Trump. But at the end of the day, what's going to prevail? Whether or not those people actually get into that booth and actually select that name when they get in that booth. That's what matters. And at the current moment, at this juncture, I don't think Biden supporters are excited about voting for Biden. They might vote for him. They're going to hold their nose and they're going to vote for him. But I don't think they're excited about it. Whereas Trump voters, they already lined up outside their polling places now. All right, so Dan says between 18 to 20% of active voters actually show up and participate in the primary election. I totally get it. I totally get it. I am not in disagreement. All I'm saying is, oh, and you said right here, in a general election, presidential election, it might be 20 to 50, 25% of active voters able to cast a ballot don't show up. I totally agree. I don't disagree. All I'm saying is people will, if they feel like there's excitement about doing this, and you know, how about this one? Treat it like 100% of the voters are going to vote. 100% vote, which is not going to happen. But let's say treat it like that. How would you, if you knew that 100% of the constituents of Jasonville are going to actually vote, and there's 50,000 constituents that are able to vote, they've already been registered, they're just chomping at the bit. What would you do if you knew that you were going to have 100% voter turnout? What would you do? Then do that right now. Even with 25%, it don't matter. It don't matter. Do it. Would you do a live stream? Would you do a virtual town hall? Would you do real town halls? Would you go campaign outside of places and do press conferences outside of places where your opponent is weak? Would you do due diligence to do an audit of the DA's office? What would you do differently if, in fact, you knew that 100% of the voting populace and constituents in your area were going to vote? Then do it now. Do it right now. Don't hold your breath. Don't do anything else. Go do it right now. That's it. Keep in mind, more women don't mean there are more women supporters. Now imagine every woman who's been stalked or her husband has strayed. Yikes. I mean, Courtney Kramer can make a lot of hay out of that. What if she met with Misha Maynard and actually did campaigning with Misha Maynard? What if Courtney Kramer actually talked with Joycelyn Wade? This is championship round type of stuff. Drag her into deep waters. What if Joycelyn Wade added her 2 cents to the mix? Not saying she would, but just saying what if she did? And just kind of said, hey, I support Courtney Kramer in this effort because she wants to keep families together. I'm here. Matter of fact, that'd be pretty rough. I'm just saying. If you want to win, just do it. Do what you need to do to win. And again, Dan, this is the situation every election cycle. What can we do to get more voters out? What do we have to do to get more voters out? This is my opinion. And I got my new political consulting hat on, and even got the little stickers still on it. I think the other one's on here. Yep, still got the stickers on it. All right, this is what I think. This is me. I totally understand that mudslinging campaigns apparently work. They discourage your opponent's base. So if I say, terrible things about my opponent, over time it whittles down and wears down on the base, and they kind of lose interest in voting. It's been proven. I don't know how, but that's what they do. Okay, fine. But what if my campaign was meant more to excite and energize my base and people that are on the fringes? What if I instead of talking about my candidate, my opponent rather, I don't even mention his or her name. I only talk about the great things that Fulton County can do, the great things that Jasonville can be. And how is Jasonville going to be great? We're going to audit the DA's office and make sure every dime is being spent properly, because these are not dimes that come from out of space. These are your taxpayer dimes. We're going to go ahead and there's 327 men that are held in the jail and they haven't been indicted. Day one, we're going to get those men. We're going to get, by day 50, those 327 men are going to all have court dates, or they're all going to be discharged. Just let them know that what you're about. Excite your base, and that's it. Let y'all keep slinging mud. Y'all keep using my name. Put some respect on my name. But y'all keep misusing it. I don't care. I'm going to talk about how great we can be if we just buy into this vision. What if we did that? Instead of just always buying into the zeitgeist, we could do better. And especially since it's been decentralized. I'm just going to say that again for the last time because I like the word. It's been decentralized. You don't have to be beholden to the major news networks. You're not beholden to the major newspaper. What if you did a daily blog or daily tweet about what you're up to? You have so many different options now. And just like I keep using mixed martial arts as my example, you have so many ways to win. You just have to want to win and use them. Your opponent is a Muay Thai specialist, then I'm jiu-jitsuing. I'm judoing. I'm wrestling. I'm going to box them. There's so many different ways that you can deal with this. And yet, we just play games and say, oh, we can only win the same way. It's not basketball. There's only one way to win. Not only one way. There's only one way to play basketball. There's only really one way to play football. But in mixed martial arts, there's so many ways to win. There's so many ways to win. Yeah, I agree with you right there. For sure, Dan says, need to do better. One generation from being gone. I totally agree. But I think at the end of the day, I think we can encourage candidates, let our voices be heard. Hopefully we can talk to Courtney. That'd be great to have a conversation with her, have her come on the show or whatever that nature. Just talk about some ways and some strategies that we can hopefully help and encourage and edify and build you up to go do something great. Like, why not? I just don't see it. I think we have so many more options than we realize. And I think if we sit back and really do an option assessment and realize that, we could really do something different. I think that would be great. That's my thoughts. But let me know what y'all think about it. Good people, if you don't mind, do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Can y'all please shout out Measured Man, who's been such a gracious and kind sponsor of this stream. Can you just drop in double M? Let's just do MM, spam MM in the chat. I want to thank everybody for not only hanging out with me. We've been talking for almost 2.5 hours. Whoa, we've been talking for almost 3 hours. What in the world is wrong with me? How y'all let me do this? But I appreciate y'all because it's been a lot of fun. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of you men that are doing your very best to be fathers to your children. I do want to encourage you, even if you don't feel like you're doing a great job, you're doing the best job that you can, and by God's grace, your children will not be deeply traumatized by your parenting. So I just want to say happy Father's Day to every last one of you. Tomorrow I'll be taking President Firstborn to she's going to a school here in Georgia for a month. So she's going to be away for a month. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then next week we're taking Chief Executive Secondborn. She's going to University of Georgia for 2 weeks. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm going to probably just drop a video on tomorrow and try my best to maybe be in the live stream with y'all in the premiere while I'm in the car because we got a long trip tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all, each and every one of you. I want to say thank you so much for your support of this channel. Thank you so much for watching the videos, for becoming members, for liking the videos, all that kind of good stuff that you do, because it does show me that you appreciate this and what I'm doing over here has value. So I want to say thank you to all of you all again. Thank you so much for the great comments, the great pushbacks, the great ideas, all that stuff. Yeah, please make sure you drop them double M's in there for Measured Man. Thank you so much. Looking forward. If you don't mind, email me, Measured Man. Let's talk about some stuff. And then all of you all you dads, shout out to all of you all. If your fathers have passed on, I pray that you have great memories of your dad. Even if you have a dysfunctional relationship with your dad, I pray that things can be made right so that you have a good ending to the story of you and your dad's relationship. It's been great. Y'all, thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. And I'm looking forward to this. We're going to be back on Monday because they're going to be back. That YSL case is coming back on Monday. So Woody, Detective Woody's going to be in the building. So we're going to have to jump back in it. So I'll drop a video on tomorrow, and I'll make sure the link, the thumbnail goes up soon. But we will do this again real soon. Everybody, thank you so much. And until next time, grace and peace. Take care.